No, they think that I just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who want to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. It's Fight Eve, y'all. It's Fight Eve, man. It's Fight Eve, man. I figured we'd do something unconventional, man. I figured we have a little purge. You know, I didn't like the idea when I saw the movie because of the implications on a political scale. But tonight, I want to give everybody the opportunity to be politically incorrect. You know what I'm saying? I think that I resonate with the real ones, right? I'm always like, I don't care if I totally disagree, as long as like you got my attention and I'm like, okay, you challenge me in my thoughts, you showing me or talking to me about some things that interest me, and you're just being real and authentic, I'ma rock with you. But right now, man, people, what I'm seeing right now is that people just, I don't know, man, maybe they making up for something that they might not have gotten in high school. I don't know, maybe they late bloomers. Maybe they want to be down like Brandy. I'm not sure, man. There's many different things that are going on, man. And I said, listen, man, it could either be something that you might have been somewhere, someplace, and you might not have had a chance to like really just get your shit off. You know what I'm saying? You might not have really just been able to just speak your mind. Like, you might not ever been given a stage or a platform or an opportunity to just really say whatever the fuck you wanted to say without having to worry about catering to a whole bunch of like people that are yes men, flunkies, phonies. You know, it's a lot of shit going on, man. And silence is consent. That's why I always say hashtag SIC. Silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. And a lot of this shit online be reminding me of some high school type shit. And so, yeah, I mean, this one there, I'm not even going to worry about this one being monetized. I'm not worried about none of that stuff to where it's like, this might even turn into one of them episodes to where when it's done, I just put it in the members only section or subscribers only section to where you can't even see it no more. Because every now and again, I think that it is important that you have I'm not even going to say a safe haven, but because if you get online and you don't feel safe or you don't feel like you're able to say whatever it is you want to say, then that's something that's wrong with you. You know, if you want to be affiliated with a group, you know, if you want to buy into, because I've seen this, it's like little cliques, little It's almost like gang behavior infiltrating the YouTube space. So I said, hey, you got a bone to pick it. You know, you got some free smoke, you got something you need to get off your chest, you got a perspective that you've been mulling over, you got something that is bothering you about the sport of boxing. Talk about it. We are a solution-oriented channel, so we can complain. You can have your little 5-10 minutes, how long you need to get it off your chest and say what you need to say. And as long as you have a solution, as long as there's some kind of silver line, as long as you have some kind of answer, this would be the spot. This would be the place. I got my main man, my main Apple Scrapple AC is in the building. And I know when I was talking to him, I said, man, maybe we need one of them sessions where we just vent. Like no structure. You just get up here and just vent. You just say whatever, like whatever's been bothering you, like whatever you've been seeing that ain't nobody saying and all this gaslighting. And sometimes you get online, you feel like you're in a twilight zone. You know how you ever feel like you ever been in a situation where you've been around a group of people and you just been like, you've been looking around like, what the? And you really want to say something, but you like, you know what? Today ain't the day. It's Friday. It's Good Friday. I'm all about peace. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, get home, take a shower, get out of my monkey suit. If you got one, and just, rest on my laurels. Might have me a nice, refreshing beverage. Might, smoke a stogie. Whatever it is you do. Have a soda. You know what I'm saying? Have a swig of your favorite beverage. You know what I'm saying? Relax. So you didn't let it go, but like, we need these every now and again. So this is Black Opps. You know what I'm saying? This is Black Opps, where she can go dark. I say, hey, listen, man, I got the burner. It's burner account friendly. So if you claim to be an op of mine and you don't want everybody to know that you be watching or you be over here, go ahead and jump on your burner account. Come on in. You know what I'm saying? You can come in and, you know what I'm saying, get smoked. If you want, you can debate. If you want, you can even be like, hey man, I wasn't able to say this over here, but like boxing is messing me up because of blah 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 blah. Now is the place, now is the time. I say get it off your chest or get it on your sleeve. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Bozy style, know what I mean? What's going on, AC? How you doing,
man? Man, everything's good, man. This shit is coming out like fire right now. The nonprofit work, bro. Listen, this joint got me so excited. Like I see it clearly now, and it's like, yeah, sometimes you got to take a step back to take 10 steps forward. If I ain't never believe in that, I believe in it right now. So, with that being said, bro, like for me, I'm dedicating my portion of this show to Nas, because he dropped out. For some reason, I was listening to a song that he had dropped called The Truth. So it's basically The Truth by Nas, and I was like listening to the lyrics of it, and I was like, if I would have took some of the words out and put content creator and YouTubers and people on the panel, that joint would have been fire, because it would have basically set the tone. You feel what I'm saying? And I was like, wow. So for me, I'm dedicating my section of this episode to The Truth by Nas. So yeah, I'm ready to get it in, bro.
I'm gonna dedicate it to. I'm gonna go Chicago with it. I'm gonna go back a couple years ago, and it was a remix that was done by Kanye and all them, but the original artist was Chief Keef. That's that shit I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I gotta go over that. Some of that. That's that shit I don't like. You know what I'm saying? That's what I gotta go over, man. Like right now, like I guess one of the biggest ones, and I see this happen all the time. There'd be a certain fan base, a certain demographic, right? And then they'll be picking on one fan base, right? And then they'll have a guy, and guess what happens? They wind up turning right into and doing the same things that they were harping and criticizing that fan base for. You know, we got a huge fight. I think Eddie opened up a whole can of worms because he still want to, you know what I'm saying, they still want to bring up, you know what I'm saying, Gilly, and, you know, salute to Gilly. I like Gilly. I rock with him. He on my outro. No, that's him. Talking about you want to go to sleep. I ain't know you want, you know what I'm saying, like, he's on the outro, and I think Gilly is funny. He was a lyricist, too. Like, he spit them bars. Ghostwriting, rapping, and all that. Gilly, he's just a personality, very intelligent, and I like what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He's a one of one. But he opened up a can of worms because he introduced this whole bud thing, and I was just like, that's not the direction we need boxing to go. That's definitely not the direction we need boxing to go. And if Boots choose to go in that direction, when all the big bright lights, let's say he get his hand raised and all the big bright lights are on him, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the bud in the building, and that's how he feel, okay, but that's not what I would be looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm vouching for. That's not the energy that I'm putting forward, and that's not really what I want. I want him to go in the direction of Fundora, and then that sacrificial lamb. I was listening to that playback, and you had me cracking up laughing. That sacrificial lamb, you know what I'm saying, with the two dragons. Doosh, doosh. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, because you know, people that was looking at Boots, right? He was behind Earl. Earl and Bud had the division sold up. They had unfinished business, and you know, there was a couple people waiting in the wings. Right, it wasn't just Boots. It was Virgil before he missed weight and had them complications of rhabdomyolysis and finally decided to move up. Dan Giannis was waiting in the wings. They calling him Mr. Step Aside. A couple people that was waiting in the wings at 47, like waiting for the dust to settle, and they was being patient, thinking that okay, the dust was going to settle. And it was Errol Spence. He had his fan base. Bud had his fan base, and Boots was the guy that like drew from both fan bases. Like me myself, I was part of the Earl. I was more Earl. I noticed and recognized what Bud was able to do, but I liked the way Earl moved. I liked the energy. I liked everything about Earl. Really didn't have anything bad to say. That was my guy. Or he still is my guy. But I was still looking at Boots. Like, so I would be one of the ones that was coming from the Earl Spence fan base looking at Boots like, man, this dude is something special. He's something nice. I got my eyes on him. I know he waiting in the wing, but his time gonna come, and you know, this and that. So it was a group, but then we was all looking at how the other guy was moving and the things that was going on. And I feared that for some reason, it's like the new fan base, since Bud retired, this new, I would say the Beehive. You got the Beehive and Devin and them. You got the Beehive and Boots and them. I would say that the Beehive, man, they acting a lot like the Beehive, man. They acting just like the Shakorians, man. They acting just like, and I'm like, man, let's not do that, man. Let's not perpetuate these things when it comes to this new guy, man, because y'all are doing some of the same things that, you know, the Bud Only fans were doing. And they're catering to some of the same things. Like, we're going to hear the whole, what has he done to deserve a fight? Like, when he get his hand raised, of course, to my prediction, and my prediction is right, he get his hand raised, right? You're going to hear a lot of people saying, well, what did he do to deserve a shot? It's like, The same way they did Oshaki when he beat Lil Ray Ray, trying to get to Shakur. We heard a lot of that, and a lot of people pouring water all on the fight. Like Chris Manners got out there and poured all that water all over the Oshaki fight, and we ain't got an update, a real legitimate update on Shakur since. And we already seeing people pour water all on front door. Oh, he's a weight bully. Oh, he already ducked such and such. Oh, I'm like, man, not again. Do not become the fan base that you despise. And I'll land right there. That's my first one. That's that shit I don't like. Don't become the fan base that you despise. You know what I'm saying? I can elaborate for hours on this, but that's the first one. You know what I'm saying? The other one, the other major one, which was like, I got up, I think I might have went to sleep a little bit too early. And my body is the type where if I lay down and I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, I'll pop back up, like especially if I go too early, because that's all I really run off of, like 4 or 5 hours of sleep on some military shit. And I was thinking about it, and then I heard that stupid ass conversation that was going on as who nobody really knows who it was. We don't know if there was AI. They were saying that 50 did it. But that whole conversation about Leonard and Al talking and people giving their interpretations, and I'm just like, man, all of this good ass boxing going on, and they give us this distraction. So it's like pure. And shout out to D1, because D1 be doing this. He be saying this. He's like, man, look, man, this fight's going on. This blah, blah, blah. Are you a real boxing fan? Because this fight's on right now, and we up here debating, blah, blah. So I like that energy. I respect that. But I'm just like, man, all this good-ass boxing talk. And once again, they fooled us into getting into a distraction, some shit that we don't have all the answers to. We're still trying to interpret, right? But then at the end of the day, whether you like Floyd or not, like, this is another thing, just like the Earl Spence and Derrick James, where you're gonna tear away and rip away and tarnish with like the legacy. And we are the only culture that really do this. And the example is, you'll never hear somebody say, oh man, fuck Jackie Chan, man. It's all about Jet Li. Oh man, fuck Jet Li, man. It's all about Bruce Lee. Like, we're the only culture that do this. Fuck LeBron, man. It's Jordan over everything. It's like shit going. Why can't we respect and love them all, especially because karma's gonna be karma, and you're gonna have to deal with your karma, good, bad, indifferent. You're gonna have to deal with your own karma. But I do not like the fact that, like, okay, right now, like Floyd in this era, post Roy Jones. Salute Trini BX. Salute Bodywork. I'll be in the building tomorrow night, champ. That's what's up, man. I know you are stoked. You know what I'm saying? But salute. I appreciate you. We are the only culture that do this. Like, people are not even looking at it like, man, let's have some kind of decent, but in typical devastating fashion. And this is why, like, even when I give my assessments about Devin and how I don't like him, I still have to say, look, man, I'm not the biggest Devin fan, but I respect him because of this. I do this and I find ways not to just chip away at what he was able to do, because what these guys, even Shakur, I don't chip away at the accolades. I don't chip away at the fact that he was 4 divisions. I don't like how he's moving. I leave it at that. I say he's a duck and this and this and that. It's nothing personal. It's like, I want the dude to get as much money. I want Devin to get as much money as these people will give him. I want Shakur to get as much money. I want to see the big fights. But like, when it comes down to, like, at the end of the day, this shit is just boxing to me. So I hate the fact that, like, some of our legacy, like, we have people that'll tear down Roy Jones because late in his career he popped or whatever. It's like, well, you're gonna sit up here and act like Roy Jones wasn't the best boxer you ever seen with your natural eyes. You're gonna sit up there and shit on Mike Tyson like he wasn't just wrecking shit all that time. We're gonna act like Floyd wasn't, like, the motherfucking truth. Like, he didn't do what he did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, we just gonna, at the expense of what? Because he didn't align with your political views. Let karma be karma. But there's no other culture that does this. And I hate these politicians. One minute, oh, I love Floyd. Oh yeah, man. And then the next minute, you are co-signing his demise. It's like, that's not none of our business. What did he do to you? Did he deny you some money? Did he fuck your chick? You know what I'm saying? Did he snatch your chick from you? Did he not let you get on his yacht? Did he bounce a check that you took to your bank and it bounced? Like, personally, what did he do to you? But all the years when he defined what greatness was and what he was doing and all those champions and everything that he did for the sport. Now, this culture, our culture, are the ones that's going to partake in just ripping the man up. That's that shit I don't like, man. I got a lot more. I got like he not one of them one. Yeah, like I got a lot more in technique, salute. I got a lot more, but I'll stop there, man. I'll let you go. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you get yours, whatever. And it's open season. This gonna be random as shit. This is gonna be whatever. I don't know how long this live's gonna last. But this is not structured the way we normally do with the housekeeping, and we got points and all this. This is just black ops. You can get smoked. You can let some shit off your chest. You can say some shit that you don't like about boxing. You can point out whatever. You can just get it off. That's what this episode is.
Basically, I wanted to start with this fight coming right now. Like me and Body was talking earlier, and we were talking about, you know, the lead up to this fight, how people are on the internet and stuff like that. He and I both agree wholeheartedly that the Devin Haney, Brian Norman internet reactions and everybody coming on panels and stuff like that talking. He had so many different people that pulled up on to this show and stuff like that. That was fun. Like this, it's getting to the point of certain things being ridiculous when I'm hearing the way certain people are describing Boots, and I guess they come from Philly and stuff like that. And I would just say this. At the end of the day, it makes it tough for me at one point to, you know, who was heavy on Boots. I felt like if Boots would have showed up and showed out at a pivotal point, you know, I might have been one person that made the argument, yeah, I definitely want to see the fight because the kid showed up, showed out, and, you know, look at who he's already taken out as a young sniper. You know what I'm saying? I would have been the guy that said, yeah, I think I would like to see either Boots fight Errol or Bud. You know, but I do remember when he was sitting at the basically sitting at the number 2 spot. You know, Virgil Ortiz said no, and he would never call him out. But then he moves over to the IBF and then petitions Errol Spence, I don't know how many times. And then now in the future, y'all want to compare him to Bud. And being the Terrence Crawford fan at that time, Body was saying that, yeah, I was a fan of both Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but I just felt that Terrence Crawford is going to beat Errol Spence. But that doesn't mean I didn't like him, and that doesn't mean I still couldn't be a fan of Boots, even though people was in some of the circles I was traveling in. People were talking, yeah, Boots will beat both of them. I was like, nah, no, he won't, because he's not showing me that he's on that level. Costio Clayton and Lipinets is not it. That's not gonna be the fights that make it so that I actually believe Boots can beat either one of those dudes. So for me, it's just like people are talking about Boots in this way that Boots cleared out a 147-pound division, and I'm like, who were the big names at 47 that he fought? They'll say Roman Villa. When I was saying Roman Villa might give Boots some issues, dude was like, oh no, are you fucking stupid? Like, you don't know shit about boxing. But now all of a sudden, Roman Villa is one of those guys. But after Boots, what has Roman Villa showed us? Then he talked about Karan. Yo, I'm telling you, man, can't nobody in that division fuck with Karan. I was kind of on the same page with it for a second. You feel what I'm saying? And I was like, well, I got to see what he do after he fight Boots, because Boots may be that anomaly that he just got up for after that, he doesn't look good. So I'm like, another stinker. So I keep asking myself while I'm on these panels talking to some of these fucking people, like, okay, if you want to tell me if Boots beats Xander, he's automatically the number one pound for pound. You're making some weird ass argument as in age related that Boots is on the same level as Floyd Mayweather. That's why y'all comparing this fight to Floyd versus Canelo, because Boots is gonna be 39 tomorrow. I mean 29 tomorrow or today. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, I was a fan of, and to also talk about Mayweather, I was a fan of Mayweather that hated Mayweather. I was like, damn, somebody just need to kick this nigga ass, man. But watching him, he would make me giggle in amazement, like, I can't believe this dude is doing that. You feel what I'm saying? Like when he caught Cotto with all of them overhands, back to back, back. That was like a lesson in bitch slappery. I was like, yo, he is fucking Cotto up. When he dismantled Zab Judah, it broke my heart. I was like, damn, Zab. You was my last hope for this motherfucker. Man, fuck Floyd Mayweather. But you's a badass nigga, though, dude. But fuck you, dude, because you that good. Fuck you. And that's the way I felt about him. He was just that good that I hated him. And I don't know if a lot of people can admit that about Floyd. And if you're going to talk shit about a dude who is definitely going to go down in history for several different things that he done. He managed to figure out the game of boxing to whereas he was one of the most profitable boxers that we'll ever see. There will never be another Floyd Mayweather because I don't think the business of boxing will allow that. You feel what I'm saying? From a colored man. And a lot of us older fans know that as a matter of fact. So stop trying to make the next Floyd Mayweather because Shakur is not him. Devin is not him. These dudes is not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not moving like Floyd. Where's your Emmanuel Augustus? You feel? Where's your Diego Corrales? What's the Irish dude he fought?
Ricky Hatton?
Yeah, where's your Ricky fucking Hatton, bruh?
Your Castillo, your Maidana, your
exactly
Oscar, you know what I'm saying? Like what
like
he
you
took
dudes don't
from.
you're not even on that level to fuck with those dudes. They will run through you on my Adrian Broner voice. Like he was telling old girl, I know niggas who ran through you. They will run through you. Period. Period, bruh. So for me, I don't like the weird ass comparison. I like Boots Ennis. I'm disappointed in where he's at in comparison to what y'all trying to tell me his great level is. I think the dude got his first belt at 32, 33 fights. And y'all telling me, telling me what?
My bad, AC.
Nah, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it just fucks me up, bro. That type of shit just fucks me up. Okay, this dude got his belt in the 30s. In the 30s. So, with all of that so-called experience, why aren't you the guy? Why aren't you giving us the list? You talking about all of these dudes is easy. But the guys who are actually easy for you at 47, you didn't fight none of them. Like the ones that actually had a good solid name, not the dudes like Xander said, are struggling to pay their child support. So for me, that's just part one. You know, just enjoy the fucking fight.
Yeah.
There are more things that say this fight is even or closer to a 60-40, depending on how much of a, for me, that's depending on, for some guys, how much you lean towards the eye test. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of looking into different things that actually make a lot of sense to me. Is it genetics? You feel what I'm saying? He's gonna reach somebody that's has the same reach as him, same height as him, been at the weight a little bit longer, may be able to sit down on his punches a little bit better because he's used to it. Yeah, we weighed in at the same weight, but I hit different. I may not have the knockout ratio with those guys because they're just like me. We're all coming down and we know how to sit on us. But he's got some body stoppages and he's got some TKOs under his belt from just putting hands on people. So this is something, can Boots deliver the shot to him, but can he take one of Xander's clean shots? The genetics say he may not. So at the end of the day, I don't, if you're gonna get goofy with it and try to reach and make sure he's all of this, I'm gonna start to talk about shit like that. Then people are going, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the nigga genes. You come from a fighting family, but the rest of your fucking family ain't shit in the sport. They were aight at best. Makes me wonder why you were fucking moved the way you were moved. You come from an aight boxing family. You're not like Vargas. You're not like the Garcias. You feel what I'm saying?
The Russells.
You're not like the Mayweathers.
The Russells.
The Russells. You feel what I'm saying? Your family's not built like them. So let's just be honest. Yeah, there's a lot of questions we need answered from Boots. But all of a sudden, Boots there's no questions around him. He been this way. He been him. Duran, him, Ennis. That's the way some of these fans are talking about the dude. So I'm just like, yeah, let's see.
I got a point to that. I'm gonna double back around to that. I'm gonna parking lot that and come back around to it. I'm gonna bring in Trini, man. Salute, Trini. How you doing, man?
Yo, salute, body, man.
Salute.
I'm all right, man. Salute, homie
Welcome
in the panel. Salute, man.
Yeah,
Last time
salute,
I was on,
bro.
you was on the panel too, man. Salute, y'all.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry?
What's on your mind?
Oh, yeah, I want to chop it up a little about the fight. Yeah, it's not only the fans bigging him up, man. There's a lot of greats talking about how great Boot is. And that's the question I want to see answered tomorrow. I'm going to be there live. He got 5 years in age over Zayas, but only really 3 years in experience. And if you look at his record, he got 19 fights in 2 years, man. That's fight month after month type shit. He does come from a fighting family, but a sparring family. That family gets champs ready. You know what I'm saying? And that's how much pressure they're putting on that kid. A lot of pressure on him from the camp. A lot of pressure on him from the gym, from the city. You know what I mean? And you could tell he's anxious when he fights in Philly, making stupid mistakes and stuff like that. And Brooklyn's just a block away from Philly. You know what I mean? He's facing a young champ. With the hype behind Boots, he got to go in there and Lima fucking Zayas for me to even, but you know what I'm saying, to accept the hype. And eye test. Bro, Mason passed my eye test, and he's proven that my eye test is sharp because he's showing me something. And he's in his early 20s. Keith Cologne too. Elijah Flores took his first loss in an 8-rounder. These guys passed my eye test and they're showing me something. Najee Lopez. You know what I mean? Boots been supposed to show me something. And he know that. Them Philly fans, man, that's the difference between Philly and New York, man, because we're going to tell Berlanga you moving like a clown, but we still going to show up. but we gonna demand, we demand something. And at 35 fights, he should have been a little bit more out there. He should have jumped on the Backlund fight that was tailor made for him. You had the IBF. Backlund is a fighter that was tailor made for you. You let Josh Kelly jump on your promotional team and steal that light from you. You know what I'm saying? Move like the city wants you to move. What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough, and that pressure could fold this kid in there, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't got nothing but the gym. And all that he knocking out heavyweights and all that, we know Boot get hit. So all them heavyweights he knocking out of the gym is landing punches on that kid. So we don't know what he left in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I don't 5-1 odds, man. That's tomato can odds. Zayas ain't no can. That kid been scrapping since 16 years old. He want the smoke. He has nothing to lose here, man. Everybody know he's supposed to be at 160. His fans is coming with him right to 160. He'll fight Mosley Jr. or somebody like that and then get a shot at the title. Boots lose this fight, is no more Boots. I call him chancletas, and we all know Puerto Ricans been weaving chancletas from their mom since he was 5 years old. There's going to be a lot of missed punches in there. He's going to be winded. We don't know how this fight going to go, man. I'm hoping the hype is right. I want to see some shit I ain't seen before, man. I want to see, like I was telling Coach Malachi, I want to see the Bruce Leroy glow. That's what you guys showed me, the way they're hyping this kid. So, hopefully we get a show. It's a great weekend of boxing. Don't forget about De La Salle's Ryo rematch. You know what I'm saying? It's some good cards on that Yusufa shit. And then the 4th of July card. That shit lit, man. That shit. You heard about this? I know you heard about the switch-up already, Body with the Albert Bell and all that. Yeah. And you got Scooter Davis on that card. Tiger Johnson, first time back since the scuffle. It's a decent card, man. Decent card, Mason. So yeah, boxing's looking good, man. Boxing got a bright future. We got a lot of young, hungry dogs that's willing to put their O's on the line. And yeah, man. So no matter what happens here, man, boxing is in good hands, man. I like the future. I like the young guys coming up. I like the Keith Colognes of the world, Roger Merriweather of the world. I like these guys, man. They're gonna put on the show for us.
And I salute your bravery, man. Like, cause it's easy because people will read more into what you're saying, but like you jump right into the thunder that I was actually about to bring. Every one of these boxers, they have what we call a rite of passage. It's almost like getting your cherry broke. Like it's like a step where you gotta go. It's like in tribes where you coming of a man and you about to, you got to go through this ritual, whether it's you gotta take all these needles and they dope you up, or you gotta go kill your first hog, or you gotta, like, right now it's like 36 fights in. We're there now, but you have to go through that before you get what everybody else before you had to earn. Now, I used to take a lashing, man, because Benavidez had to show me. Xander had to show me. Shit, more recently, Devin had to actually show me. It's like until you actually show me, you know what I'm saying? Like Devin shut me up with the Brian Norman. I didn't see him do that, but I was like, I gotta respect Dev. He went in there with a game plan, whether it was 70 punches landed or not, he got the job done. I didn't see it, but he earned it. Benavidez, I used to bet against David Benavidez. I thought he was a hype, and I said, man, it got to the point where I said, I'm not gonna bet against this dude, but he had to show us. And I don't like the fact that there are fan bases that just throw the mantle because we're so thirsty for a star. Like everybody, I think the best take I've heard from somebody in major media or somebody of importance, because I used to love Teddy Atlas takes and Teddy Atlas's boxing mind. I still do. He got a little political for a second, but I think he realized that's not gonna work for him because he started saying some shit that I was just like, nah. I was like, man, dude, you're trying to get abused. But I think he kind of got back, and what he said was, he kept saying, everybody saying, this our guy, this our guy. And then he said, I don't know. He said,
yeah, man, yeah.
And he said, this is this fight that's going to actually show us if this is our guy. So let him show us that this is our guy before we start saying, because it's odd how they put him in the same category as Tank, and people never give Tank his credit. They say he fight nobody. All the Max Kellermans, the Shady McCoy, who that's my football guy. I'm an Eagles fan. But like they say he fought nobody. I'm like, well, if I did a video where I put all the nobodies that he fought, you can't do that. He done fought 3 divisions. He went up to 4 divisions. He got a secondary belt off of Barrios, but the dimensions of these fighters, how big they was, and what he had to overcome, and still maintain a 93.3, 33% knockout ratio. That says something. Is like he didn't fight. So to put him in that category, it's a disinjustice to him. To put him in the same category as Devin and Shakur, well, they've done more. Like at the same age, they've done more. And then when we look at it in the amateurs, we talk about one of my guys like Gary Antoine Russell. When they was at the same level, Gary Antoine beat him more times than he beat Gary Russell. When they was, you know what I'm saying, do their little Olympic thing or whatever. So
that's
it's
why
like,
nobody was checking for him back then like that. And another thing, not to cut in, what you brought up point, you remind me when you brought up the B. Norman and the Haney fight. Because I was going with the young Jaguar B. Norman. But it's like the world forgot so soon. Like anybody could get hurt in that ring. You know what I'm saying? They writing off a knockout. Like I said, you gonna if you swinging and missing and moving at a higher weight, you're gonna take something off your punches, man. So saying that Zayas it's impossible for Boots to get hurt in there is crazy. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. We don't know what he left in that gym. Anybody could get hurt walking into that square circle. And if you go in there with that mindset, like you already won, and then if you ask this kid about any fight, I ain't watch it. No wonder you believe you're the fucking best. You're not checking for nobody. Of course you think you're the best. Go see what's out there, man. You know, I'm curious to see how Val Saint look, the young boy, the Haitian kid, Val Saint looked at in that camp with him and Canelo. I'm really curious to see or find out or hear something about that.
Yeah. And we saw it with Josh Kelly. Now, granted, it was kind of controversial, but Josh Kelly got his hand raised. Baccarat protested it, but we didn't see that shit. We didn't see that happening. It was inactivity, right? But you know, with the Devin and the Norman thing, you know what I'm saying? Boxing movers with the Josh Kelly, he got Olympic pedigree, but like with him sticking and moving and dropping Baccarat, you know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Your body, you wasn't expecting Boost to target Baccarat when he moved up though, being that he had the IBF. That's what I thought the move was.
Oh, but that's what we were saying. We got, man, me and AC took so much, man. Man, we earned our stripes off of making that point, man.
Because that's making you. We talking now. After what he did to Zoo, you come in there, you do something, you get that belt. Now you showing me something, a little something. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I got the thumbnails. Like while we talking, I can pull them up. I got videos of basically saying why not. I called it the Rocky.
And him not doing that, he fucked up his bag, body. Because I think the plan was he could have got that belt from fucking Baccarat, right? Yo, Hearn fuck with him so much. Hearn would have probably, you see the funny shit with Conor Ben. Hearn would have probably fed him Conor Ben for a UK fight, bro. That would have blew Boots up. He fucked his old bag up, bro. This fight would have been so much more bigger.
He already had Josh Kelly a signed contract for him. That's why we were like, the fuck is going on with Boots? Eddie Hearn admitted it.
Damn.
You feel what I'm saying?
Going into the Baccarat fight, Josh Kelly had already signed the contract with Boots on it, and then they won the purse bid, and they won the purse bid with a deal for Josh Kelly with Boots already being a name. The minute Josh Kelly,
but he had a line to back him before Kelly through Turk, and he wanted the tune-up. This is what I'm saying. This is the contradiction. You can't go saying you the best, but you need a tune-up. Nah, a phenom don't need no tune-up.
But they also were saying that it was the rehydration. I'm like, well, you can't do that. You can't say it's the rehydration, because if you jump in there with Kelly and before you had a belt, it was still going to be a rehydration, because he still was going to hold the IBF. Because me and AC, we ran laps around niggas with this conversation. We were saying, man, listen, he should have jumped up and got Baccarat and used his leverage, because he went up there, he had 2 belts and the ring. That's how you lost.
And he was coming off the couch, body. He was coming off the couch too. Like I couldn't understand it. That's when I started doubting shit. Like, bro, if you don't think you ready, how the fuck? Exactly. I understand Philly. I know how they get down. I understand them. But everybody else, all these real boxers and shit talking that shit, man. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it.
Well, one of the points I wanted to make and piggyback off of was when Trini was talking about let's see what's out there. You feel what I'm saying? And when you talk about someone who says they're the best, you feel what I'm saying? I'm a chef and stuff like that. I look at other chefs to see what they're doing. I believe and I know I can cook on the level of a 3 Michelin star chef. You feel what I'm saying? But I want to see what the other guys are doing. Am I leading the trend by some of the things that I'm working on in between me not looking at it? Or am I right on par with them? Most of the time I'm right on par. Some occasions I'm leading the trend like, oh, nobody's thinking about doing this with this machine? Okay, all right. So when I get out there, I know this thing that I'm doing is gonna make some headway. When I feel
Exactly.
I feel like
my
this,
point.
if I'm a boxer and I'm saying I'm the best, you feel what I'm saying? First of all, I'm gonna be a historian because most of the best fighters are actual historians. They can go back to some obscure name that most casual fans are like, who the fuck is they talking about? A guy that says, yeah, I got great footwork. Okay, so what do you attribute to your great footwork to be? Well, you know, I used to study a lot of Willie Pep fights and stuff like that. And I was amazed with his upper body movement and that W step that he did. You know, I'm a natural switch hitter, so that W step really, really worked for me. This is why my transitions are so smooth. Oh, okay. In the modern era, who you're talking about, you know automatically they're going to say, as far as defense, it's definitely Floyd. And then there's Roy, and then there's, you know, Bernard Hopkins and James Toney. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, what about the heavyweights? Oh, definitely Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis. This is what some of the historian young kids already talk about. But, you know, it's showing that they're watching film. So do you watch film on your opponents? Yeah, because I know my coaches are, but I'm doing my own study outside my coaches. So when they tell me and we come up with the game plan, I've already imagined it. And they're in tune with what I already figured out. So if a kid is not watching film, that means you're not running a race in your head. Every great champion says, I see myself doing X, Y, and Z. Talk to Terrence Crawford. I see myself beating him.
Zayas waking up, talking about he's dreaming about the fight, waking up in sweat. You know what I'm saying?
And it's just simple things like that. Outside of that, I wanted to say, when it came down to a weird point, someone was trying to argue with me last night. And they were like, yo, but you gotta understand, when did Bud get his breakout fight? And I was like, are you seriously gonna try to make that point? And he was like, yeah. And then other people kind of got in it, and I was like, wait, hold on. You're talking about two different dynamics, because by the time Bud fought Errol, Bud was already a 2-division lineal champion. He was already undisputed, he was already undisputed. He was already a 2-time, you know, fighter of the year. So the comparison is not the same. Bud did far more shit. You feel what I'm saying? He had the accolade salad, as Body would say. You feel what I'm saying? But he just didn't have the exposure.
Yeah, I think the Gamboa fight, the Gamboa gave him a little
like, yeah, but it's still Bud is a wet sponge. You put that motherfucker in front of a mic. And after he beat Gamboa, people were expecting him to talk, but what you got? A wet sponge. So
yeah, that's what they want the bullshit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm glad
so
he got to,
to be able to sell a fight, talk, and let me see if you're the type of person we can put on the Wheaties box. And sometimes that's what you got to look at.
Yeah, and no, Bud, if Bud didn't pull that off, Boots don't get pushed right now. They see it could work. You know what I'm saying? We tired. We don't want all our role models. We don't want all our motherfuckers to be wilding out. We got sons now. We need somebody there to do their thing, could throw hands, and still live a decent life without be doing dumb shit. You could party and all that. You don't need to slap no women. Those are the ones they pushed before. You know what I'm saying? So with Bud doing what he did, it opens the door for a Crawford type person. You know what I'm saying?
It does, but it doesn't, because at the end of the day, here's what I'm saying. How do you explain that? I'm calling this dude a wet sponge for a specific reason, because I'm about to bring up two fighters that say even less. Tank Davis and Errol Spence.
Yeah, but also one thing though, remember the bullshit games that Bob was playing with the Pac fight? If Bob would have got that Pac fight, man, around the Jeff Horn time, that shit would have pushed him forward, man.
I'm a Bud fan. I've been on panels talking to Bud's family. Dude is, you know, grandmother's the same. They at all of these different events and shit like that. I saw the relationship between this cat and the Crawford family. Like, that's you're not lying, homie. You were really brought up in the same house with this dude. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. Tank Davis had something special, although he didn't talk. The shit is called presence. Terrence Crawford never had presence. Errol Spence has presence. It's when he shows up, it's that, oh shit, Earl is here. Even though his name is Errol, it's Earl is here. Tank show up at an event, oh shit, Tank. Same type of presence Jay-Z, Nas, you know, Biggie Small, these type of dudes would have. Biggie,
yeah, but Bud presence, when Bud walk in, the fighters feel away. Every motherfucker who's a fighters feel away. Not the fans. Exactly. But every motherfucker fighter there know who the big rooster in the room is when Bud walk in any circle with fighters.
I'm not denying that. But to sell and be that guy, you needed Errol Spence. And when you got Errol Spence, that's what gave you presence. That's what legitimized your presence.
And Boots need that kind of showing up tomorrow. He need the Errol Spence Zayas, man. To add up, to make the hype add up, and to give these motherfuckers a little grace that's talking that shit. That's the kind of performance he has to have.
And that'll be hopefully, in my opinion, because you know I don't want it to get twisted. I'm pulling for Boots. I hope, because you know what I'm saying, we do need more irons in the fire. So I'm pulling for him, but that would be the beginning of the run that I'm hoping for. But with Eddie being in there, with him already saying I'm the cash cow, these little things he's been saying and how cocky it's been, I'm like, man, don't take me down this Shakur shit, the Shakur path, the Devin path, like how they acting right now, and where once you get this, it's gonna be like, well, he's already done enough. What, he's 2 times, because they playing this accolade salad, and I'm like, this shit is like, trust me, I don't take away from no accolades. Those are your accomplishments. I will never diminish your accomplishments. But they're piecing this shit together like wet paper napkins. And I'm like, when you look at it, it makes it seem like somebody would be a hater to say, hold on, man, you got a belt when it was vacant, and then you unified with somebody else who got a belt that was vacant, and then you jumped up and you fought a guy that had 2 straps. That's the baseline of your run. Go ahead with that run, knock out Fundora, you know what I'm saying, knock out.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, do that, yeah, hell yeah. Then you show him, yeah.
Then you lit. Now we know, okay, this is our guy, and he's gonna move the way we want him to move, so we can get behind him the way Earl had his fan base behind him.
And I want him to win too, Body, because like Zaya's gonna go to 160. He's gonna sit down on his punches when he get a little power. He gonna shine. He gonna be all right. Boots losing, I'm gonna lose a lot of respect for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? The way they was pushing, it was too hard, man. It was too, yeah, man. That shit was like, nah, this shit he gotta justify the orders, man. And then we can move on to Fundora. He could go to 160, rematch Zayas. It's a lot of work to be done. Boots versus Yo-Yo Hernandez? Shit, I want to see that. You know what I'm saying? There's work to be done. But I need him to pull it off. I need him. Even if it's a tough fight, put it off and move on from there. So both guys will be all right. Boots lose this fight, man. He gonna be done. He gonna be done for a while. They're gonna charge Conwell him.
That's the point, and that's the point that point right there. That's the point I was saying. I said it a while ago. That's the point that I hear out of 100 people talking. I hear maybe one or two people bringing up that point right there, and I'm like, that's the point. That's the elephant in the room, and that's what nobody really wants to admit, because the way they actually talking about Xander, the way they was discrediting the fact that how he got his straps and the shit they were talking about him when he got his straps from Baru. It wasn't until he got in front of Boots, or the conversation with Boots came, that the conversation switched. I'm like, hold on, man. Don't act like that's going to be the baseline of his run. But don't act like y'all was looking at Xander like he was some world beater. Y'all was saying he was on the top ring diet and he got them belts off of two guys. Who was these guys? Who was Tez? Who was Baru? Who was, I'm like, okay, so that should be the baseline. And the fact of the matter is, if Boots lose, it's gonna be bad. If Xander win, they're gonna treat him like he the best thing since sliced bread.
And at least Zayas was trying to be a fucking world beater, man. Remember Gabi Fundora stopping him from getting in the ring? He trying to bring Victor Ortiz to Puerto Rico. I would have jumped at the opportunity. That's why I give him a lot of props. It's hard for a young Puerto Rican to fight in Puerto Rico with Tito Trinidad in the stands, man. Yo, his corner was begging him not to trade with motherfucking homie, Baru. And he traded in the last round when he was up. So like, that shit not easy to do, man. People fold under that pressure. Look at Matias, man. He folded under that pressure. When he had the opportunity with Paro champ now. Yo, you seen that fight, the Paro fight?
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of content.
I had to rewatch it, man. When I first seen it, I was like, damn, I think they robbed Crocker, but then I rewatched it, man. Yo, Paro, I think he did enough, but it would have been a draw. It would have been a draw in Ireland, though.
Yo, he outworked him. That it was just it was simple as that. He just outworked him. Like Crocker was landing some shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yo, guys, I was telling Polanco coach, man, because he had a fighter that went out there and got beat up by Tim Tszyu, but Tim Tszyu ain't knock him out. And he had a little back and forth with the coach, and it started a little drama. And I kept telling him, bro, coach, keep on Australian neck, man, because Paro gonna get that belt. And then you could have them fly Polanco, and if Polanco is what you say he is, it won't go to the scorecards. I kept telling him this, yo, keep on that beef, and he let it go. And look, Paro's champ now.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Polanco?
You gotta show me something too, man. I want Bino. I want him or Tiger, or B Norman and him. Because he kept trying to fight Flies, man. Him and Flies, he kept trying to talk shit about Flies and Matias and all that. And then Tiger Johnson flatlines Flies. I'm like, why you ain't trying to? That's a good fight.
What happened with that? What happened with that? I heard they was in talks, and then next thing you know, it was Tiger and Flies. But
Flies was Tiger was, I think, a better opportunity, because if he would have won the Tiger fight, he was gonna get fast tracked of Flies.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't, for the public and the masses, man. Just the last point, man. Before we get on to the rest of the venting, Breadman said something, and I'm like, this is the problem with boxing. Breadman said he told Sean Zettel, and Sean Zettel basically hijacked the conversation and started over here, and we got the track record for it. We've been talking about what's better for the business of boxing with many different fights. We talked about it with Shakur and T.O. We talked about it with Brian Norman and Shakur. And even though we knew who could win and we were more fans of one over the other, we were saying for the business of boxing, it'd be good for these other two guys to win. Why? Because they're going to give us the fights that are good for the sport. So he hijacked that. He took that, had a personal conversation with Breadman, and then I guess they did their behind the scenes thing, like the way me and AC talked behind the scenes, and then they came out and did an interview. Breadman said, he said if it was coming from anybody else, I would take it as disrespect. But since it's coming from you, I respect it. And I said, see, that's the problem with boxing. Like, if I'm saying the same motherfucking thing, just because it's coming from Sean Zettel, because he go over there with the Raiders, and he can go over on Sean Porter, and he can get Tim Bradley on the phone. If we have the same exact opinion, which he's hijacking mine, right? Then
big media is too. All of them doing that. They all do that. They be in the chat, and I heard my shit word for word verbatim from these motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I'm like, why? We didn't heard it from Tim. I done heard Chris Algieri do it. Like to me, do Chris
Yeah,
verbatim?
Paul did it. Paulie Malignaggi did it to me.
Yeah, Polly, he's famous for it. I'm like, y'all getting paid all that bread, man, and y'all gotta hijack people's shit. But I'm over that. Like, I'm like, okay, all right. So we're not gonna get the credit. So I'm past getting the credit, and I'm more so in the fact that okay, well, the message is out there, and that's really what we want. Okay, that thought or that logic to be out there for people to actually use their brains to think about, right? But the thing is, that is the problem with media. Like, why do you gotta be somebody like if I'm saying the same thing, or if I got more validity, or if I can see bullshit through something that Andre Ward say, why? Okay, we respect him because they was in the ring and he was a Hall of Famer and all that. But why would you take it as disrespect if somebody else said it versus somebody that you know said it and it's not? And that's like the elephant in the room in a lot of these conversations. Because listen, Tim Bradley came out on Monday and said, "Oh man, I'm in all black because it's going to be a funeral." He came out on Wednesday and said, "I got Xander for the upset." And I'm like, "You're the Hall of Famer. Which one is it, Tim?" So you're going to get the benefit of the doubt no matter what happens after this fight. They come out and be like, "I told you so," on some hindsight is 2020 shit. And that's what's the problem.
Yeah, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to respect the work, the analyzing skills. You put it in, buddy. We like those of us who listening to the cut know that we know where them shits be coming from, their points and shit, because we heard it already. I heard that shit at work when you was talking about it to 5 people. So we know that, you know what I'm saying? But that's what needs to be credited. The work is done. You got a job. You living your life. You putting in your work, analyzing this shit. The boxing mind is sharp. That's where the credit needs to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I just found it odd. I'm like, I like Breadman's boxing mind, but I don't like. I think politics is ruining boxing because now if Chris Mannix say it, if Max Kellerman, who's like the worst right now, like he the one that came out and was like, it's a bad thing that Tank working with Jose Benavidez. Like, how is that a bad thing? Cause you say so? Like, they just get out here and like they do these hit pieces. Cause PBC, nobody from the PBC can do no right. Like, and no matter what other platform said, unless it's like Brian Custer or Ellie Stepback, like PBC can do no right. They take and twist up Gary Antoine Russell's words. It's like, well, where's all the pressure for Shakur to fight Gary Antoine? Like, if all these catch weights, all this shit y'all want to let him do and prance around, and I respect Shakur's skills. He used to be behind Tank. He was like right behind Tank. In that division, I like Shakur. You know what I'm saying? But like, I can't buy into the hyperbole. And once somebody start moving funny, like Richardson Hitchens, I used to be real high on Richardson Hitchens. Once he did that Duarte shit, I said I gotta be true to form. I'm off, man. You can't do that. You can't duck and do that and then have my support no more. Like, no. You
and all of Russell's fights, except 2's knockouts, it always supposed to be the knockout artist against the slick boxer. Like, why is no push for that fight? It's crazy. That's we all want to see that shit. Nobody talking about it.
It speak volumes, cause Shakur know, and there's no pressure, and he gets Gary Antoine gets shitted on
yo, buddy. You know what I'll take even, because you know Matias is my guy. I'll take a soft touch, send away, give Matias a payday, bring him back. I'll take that if that would have been on this undercard or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll put that in a nice card. Matias car first, defense of the belt. Give him an easy touch. Give Matias a payday. I'll take that over this shit that's going on, man.
But good. Look, we ain't never gonna see Shakur and Hirioka. We ain't gonna see Shakur and Tito Mercado. We ain't gonna see Shakur.
Shakur is a fucking fight, bro. That's a fight party fight right there, man. You know what I'm saying?
They ducking that dude. That dude, one of the most dangerous dudes out there, man. That dude, like, people be saying he hyping this. I said, man, prove it. I'm from Missouri when it comes there. I'm from the show me state when that, like, Tito is the real deal, man.
How about Mikado Dalton? Because Dalton got that belt.
I would love that fight. I want to see Puello and Sandor Martin be in any mix, because I think Sandor Martin will buy, like, it's the reason why Devin ain't come back for his strap. It's the reason why when that first bid went by, Devin didn't fight Sandor Martin. Sandor Martin, he arguably might have beat Puello, but I think Puello, Sandor Martin, and Hirioka at 140, the division that everybody tiptoe around, the reason why Keyshawn just pretty much he sneezed at 140 and he get all this glory and all that, like to be number one at 47. Ain't nobody saying nothing about this. Like, you ain't where's the rite of passage, bro? Because you part of the buddy system. I respect the skills, but like you creep past 140, bro. You creep past Gary Antoine. You creep past Cuello. You creep past Tito, Frank Martin. Like, it's all this work where your legacy, like Abdullah would have went through that smoke, win, lose, or draw. He would have went through that smoke and proved himself.
Yo, Abdullah gonna shake shit up. If he get past this fight and move up next year, 140 gonna get shaken up, man. That kid coming, man. He coming, and he getting better and better each fight. If he learned from his last fight, he gonna only get better. And this Bell, a lot of people don't know what Bell is. I got it said in another panel when I mentioned it. They're like, no, not this is knockout. They didn't even know he was the tallest one in the division, which is the challenge at 135, regardless. And then he got experience. So I don't listen. I listen to what coaches say about Albert Bell. They're the ones telling their fighters chill. So it's a tough fight. And he was in the gym for Cruz. So it's not like it's a regular short notice fight.
Yeah, what you think about that fight though? Because that shit got more competitive when Cordina fell out and Bell got in. I was nervous for Abdullah, but I said, there ain't nothing to be nervous about. The best man's going to win. But Albert Bell is a surgeon, man. He's a surgeon.
He's like a tall fucking cur. Like a tall cur. And then he gritty, because Toledo's gritty out there, so he got it in him. So it's a tough fight for Mason. I'm going with Mason. I know they sparred. I heard Merson got hurt, but Mason was a kid when they sparred, man. So he learned.
I look at that fight like, and this is part of my rant. I'm just amazed that within some circles, even the mainstream media and stuff like that. This was a fight I was looking at a minute ago. This was a fighter I was looking at, a while ago. Like, yo, this dude is like 6 feet. He's like Sebastian Fundora and Hamid Shiraz of 135 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Then I seen he's a technician. For me, when I was trying to explain to people like, yo, don't sleep. Abdullah has to have a new wrinkle. The reason why people are talking about this fight, because although Abdullah Mason is champ, this is still a step up fight for the young champ, because this is a fight where this guy has age experience, life experience, being able to be patient, because he's been patient for years.
And at 32, maybe his last shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's the hunger aspect of it. Because I was like, when I was covering it, I was like, I think that, this was last year, and or Albert Bell might have been 32 or whatever, or just getting ready. I don't know how long he's been 33, but I was like, yo, he's in his 30s. This dude ain't got a lot of time. So if he get a shot, or Abdullah give him a shot, or one of these other dudes give him a shot, they in for something, because this dude Bell is gonna come with certain things to say, look, I gotta, like me and Body always say, this is your lose yourself moment. Albert Bell, this is a fight to whereas you look to take control, and then you gotta finish strong. If you were gonna try to stop somebody, Abdullah Mason is the dude to outbox, outpoint, and then stop him, because then you look so impressive that it just skyrockets you, and everybody has this demand to see you fight. If it's just a close fight win, they're gonna demand the rematch.
Yeah, I'm glad you up on you know what it is.
You're done.
Because Mason will get his credit from a selective few if he does get past it. And that's what I meant by earlier. He been past my eye test. He's starting to show me.
Yeah,
and that's what Boots should have been did. That's what Boots should have been did, the way they talk about it. I know he probably showed people in the gym and all that, but we know how them gyms be. You know what I'm saying? It's probably 20 casuals in there. The fighter, his opponent could only do certain things, and then he's buying into the hype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm still within the vein of saying, okay, I'm looking at Mason's run. This is a 50-50 fight for me, for Mason. Just like I was like, look, I lean towards Mason beating Sam Noakes, But if Mason sleeps on Sam Nooks is gonna win. You feel what I'm saying? This is a type of fight to whereas Mason, now you have to show up and show out. This is the same level. I look at this fight as the same level as I'm looking for answers with Boots and Zayas. This is going to tell me a lot about both of these guys because this was a fight that even when Benavidez got up to 75, I was like, look, I like Benny at 75, but you don't show me anything I really need to see at 75 if you don't get in there with Yardy. Yardy is durable and he's always there to fight. And if you're not the dude, Yardy's going to beat you or Yard's going to beat you. So for me, when he went in there and he beat Yard the best way I've ever seen anybody beat Yard, I was like, oh my fucking God, bro. You are him. You feel what I'm saying? That solidified it for me. You feel me? I'm looking at Mason to win this fight. And for me, I've told Body, I've said it on the lives, look, I want to pick Boots. I really do. But the tangibles and everything else is telling me Zayas is going to beat him. If there was a rematch, I got Boots in a rematch. Just like in the Bivol-Beterbiev fight, everybody was saying how technical Bivol is. And I'm like, bro, I hear all of y'all, but this Bivol gonna beat him in a rematch. He's not gonna beat him the first time out. Bivol, he's not gonna be accustomed to what this dude is gonna bring, and Bivol has this slight little tendency to think he's ahead and not finish the round strong. And that's where Beterbiev is like, look, as long as the clock is ticking and I didn't hear a bell, I'm coming forward and I'm throwing punches. And I said that's the thing that's going to get him to fight, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
If Mason didn't have the Noakes fight, if Mason didn't become champ, and it would have been before the Noakes fight that he's fighting Bell, I would have went with Bell. But I got Mason.
That's reasonable. That's extremely reasonable. Nobody, I might have been like, I would love Mason to win, but I think Bell might edge it out because I haven't seen that wrinkle yet of Mason facing a guy pretty much his same size, same height, and is more of a pure boxer.
We're gonna see Mason's IQ, but let me, before I forget, because I want to get while we got Trini on, I want to get his opinion on another fight. But let me give my pet peeve right now. And if you can hear me, man, and you catch this on the playback, just listen to me. I hate the fact that whenever we assess anything, this is why I didn't cover Boots the way I did the Norman and the Devin fight. We gotta stop this shit to where when we're doing pure boxing analytics, you take everything personal when it comes down to criticisms for Boots. That shit is a pet peeve of mine. It make me not even want to talk boxing with people because we analyze everybody. And I noticed that it's a lot of cats like Greg Hackett, Breadman, Jamil from YSM. These niggas do this shit all the time. Like, fuck, he blocked me on the video because I said, I don't want to hear that shit. We don't want to hear that shit about whatever you got to say when you keep giving Fortune all these fucking excuses. You know what I'm saying? When before the fight, it was blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And then now y'all co-signing and saying all these fucking excuses. And when Earl come out and give his truth, it was like, oh, man, look at all this. But then y'all just openly, with Fortune smiling in your face, he had an excuse with anyway. He had an excuse when it came down to what happened with O'Shaw. It's like, how many excuses you want? So when he do it, that's acceptable. When Earl come out and tell his truth 3 years later, that's an excuse. Knock it off. If we having pure boxing talk and you got that energy, because I noticed them niggas love talking about everybody else and being overly critical about everybody else. And the minute you say, oh, well, yeah, I think he get touched a little bit too much at times, but sometimes he's impatient. Oh my gosh, why are you hating on Boots? Like, I remember when me and AC, we was on another channel. We used to go at it all the time. Not go at it, but we used to be back to back making this point, saying the man should move up. They would say, why y'all rushing Boots? I'm like, we're not rushing him. He should move up. Like, he should go ahead and move up. Stop being in the pipeline and move up. You know what he came out recently and said? He's like, yeah, I should have been moved up from 47 to 54. I'm like, so hindsight is 2020 again, but in real time, we were saying it. We gotta stop that. You can't call yourself a credentialed, credible boxing analyst if you're gonna take a stance. Like when people talk about Tank, I don't get overly defensive. Either I got my rebuttal, or I got a fact that's going to negate that, or I'm going to pick your brain and see where you're going, or I'm going to say, you know what, you got a point. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, you just hating on Tank. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop doing that when it's your favorite fighter. If you are overly critical about everybody else, man, put your chest out. Like how he said on Baby Boy, now chuck it up, little nigga. Like, put your chest out. Like, no, lean back, put your chin up, little nigga. Like, take that shit like everybody else. But don't be like everybody else saying, oh man, all you do is hate, when everybody's just doing a boxing analysis. So let's do this moving forward. That's why I didn't touch this fight as much. We did 2 videos on this fight. Because I said, man, y'all gonna try to turn this shit into Bud versus Spence, and this is not that. So that's my rant on that.
Well, I stumbled upon that channel during the Bud and Canelo lead up, and I realized quick that's his Boots channel, man. That one of them gonna go down if he lose, because you can't come back outside the way y'all was talking. Like, it's too much, man. And I hear it, man. It's that Philly pride, but damn, bro. And I hope, for y'all's sake, and I really hope, because you can hear it in their voice when they keep saying it. I'm gonna show y'all. We gonna show y'all. So, man, show me, please, man. Please.
Yeah. So that's my thing. And I used to like him. I was the one, before Greg even had a channel, I used to say, oh man, Greg, man, you be cooking. You should have your own channel. That nigga got his own channel and lost his fucking mind, man. Now he get to say the most outrageous shit. And I'm like, bro, I can't even listen to him. And they don't like, and when you disagree with him, I hate that shit. Like, there's so many channels. This is a major channel to where it's like, this nigga is so pussy. He's so pussy to where when anybody disagree with him, he either mute him or cut him off or kick him off or go on a rant and then get up the next day and be like, oh, y'all overreacted. Like, if you gotta find yourself apologizing the next day for what you did, like over and over again, like every now and again, once in a blue, okay. But if you gotta do that shit all the time just because somebody disagree with you, you don't want a fucking boxing channel. You want a fucking cult. And most of these niggas want a cult. I'm not being a part of no cult where I can't be a free thinker. I don't do that in life. I've had problem on the job. I'm always the one speaking up for everybody. Fuck that shit.
Well, you can tell, Body, man. I'm learning this shit too lately, especially, man. A lot of these motherfuckers never had that real barbershop boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? They never had the face-to-face shit. All this shit be online and shit, man. And it's a lot of triggers. It's the same thing with like a lot of Mexican fans. You say one thing is slander when you just really comparing something. Like, I don't buy into that. I'm half Puerto Rican. I had fucking Chavez beating Camacho back in the days. You know what I'm saying? I made 5 G's off the first Margarito Cotto fight. And then when the rumors came out, motherfuckers tried to circle back. You know what I'm saying? I had to, get crazy on motherfuckers. Like, nah, I ain't getting shit back. You know what I'm saying?
My nigga. I don't blame you, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the problem. And I'm not like that. Man, I could get my lady on here right now. This is why I don't go outside. I done ran down on the ice cream truck, man. That's why I stay in the house, because I'm not me. I try to be sensible. I don't really get into no personal shit. I keep it all boxing. We try to give everybody a fair assessment. You know what I'm saying? But like, I can't do that. And a lot of people talk the way they talk online because it's online. You know what I'm saying?
But I do appreciate this shit right here, because like yesterday night, I got caught up. I seen the homie, yo, I'm going to fight tomorrow, started yapping it up. We talking boxing. But then, the old vibes go off. Bruh, you don't even know what's going on. You ain't outside no more. You don't know what's going on right now. It's not the place for that. That's why this comes in handy. And this therapy, man. You got to talk your boxing shit. Now I talk it at work most of the time. I'm off today. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking off tomorrow, but I'm usually getting paid to talk my shit. You know what I mean? I'll be in the clock. I'm overnight. You know what I'm saying? So this shit therapy very well. That's why it's much appreciated, man.
But that's what I'm saying about, you know it as well as I do, being from New York. You don't have to be in a barbershop. You could have a boxing conversation in the bodega.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, man.
You feel what I'm saying? If Papi get down like that, and Papi watching boxing, you feel what I'm saying? Or on the little TV, the Spanish boxing on channel 47 or whatever, that may air some fights that just completely are not on the U.S.
Yo,
Marcus like,
you just fucking brought a funny point up too, right? Because Body just asked me about Polanco. Let me say this, Body, because I'm the boxing guy in my circles and shit, and I've been bigging him up to all the Dominicanos in the grocery stores, man. So he gotta show up, man, or they gonna look
yeah,
at me sideways, man.
and that's
That's
what I'm
gonna be
talking
fun.
about.
You know what I'm saying? I be telling Coach too, man, like, yo, I'm bigger. You fucking up my shit now. He gotta show up, man, to the point that he be curbing me.
And that's what I'm talking about as far as New York. Like, dudes could, you in a 99-cent store, it's a long ass line. You know what I'm saying? Dude may be looking at him watching a video about boxing, like, who you got in the next fight? And this fight coming up. Oh, like, boxing talk is part of this town. For me, I'm always gonna run into a boxing fan. You feel what I'm saying? And whether it's the barbershop, standing online, you know, talking to people in my building, talking to people sitting outside in the courtyard and stuff like that. Boxing is part of New York, and when there's a fight in New York, whether it's the Garden or Brooklyn, everybody's talking about it. That's where the casuals, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we still bring the screens out. We still bring the screens out.
Yeah, so I'm a person that looks at it like this. When I go to different channels, I'm only going to your channel to have a boxing conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, some dudes would try to get slick with me and say some weird shit, and I'll just be like, bro, that's not a good look. Let's just keep it boxing. I don't do none of that. I don't tell a homie, yo, what you doing? Let's go. I know a good Frank stand we can go to. I don't do shit like that. So,
Yeah.
like, bro, be easy with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you came from where I came, where we have boxing conversations anywhere and everywhere, you can also get it anywhere and everywhere. No diddy.
The first time, I just started, like, and then I jumped on, and I was like, we was talking, and it's me, the other homie, and the coach. And I got the camera on and shit. We talking, and then like some cat misunderstood me. It was in the Norman and Haney lead up, and some cat like misunderstood me. So then he going at me, and I'm trying to tell him, yo, chill, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even, bro, if I was beefing, if I was outside, I wouldn't even be on camera. Like, chill, homie. You know what I'm saying? And then he seen the BX. He's like, but you. I said, all right, bro. Like, you got it. Like some shit about the camera. He like, yo, but you in the BX, right? That shit triggered me. I'm like, what you mean? I'm right here. Yo, homie had me driving up and down the concourse, trying to match up the building he was in front of. I said, I had to catch myself, man. Then my youngest was there. He heard me talking shit. So then my wife, he said he showed her, and I come home. Wife, he's like, yo, I'm looking stupid because I tell my kids about the online shit. Now I'm looking like, I said, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill. But then it got, smoothed out or whatever. I'm like, yo, never again, man. Like, this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Turns out the dude ain't even about that shit. Like, I could have got caught up on some dumb instinct shit, you know what I'm saying? Over nothing, bro. Like,
yeah,
motherfuckers been through real shit out here in these streets that I'm settled in, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything is settled, bro. Like,
that's why I don't go. I'm like Body. I'm working on some other stuff. I do consulting work, but if I ain't doing nothing in the consulting space, I'm home working on my projects. So
yeah, I feel you. Like right now, I got a book I'm working on and shit. And the young boys are all grown. Like, and if you got sons in this city and the way it is, like, I feel like you gotta keep them busy, yo. That's the trick out here. You gotta keep them motherfuckers busy. And one of them is already out the house, so it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ain't got time for the bullshit.
My two oldest are already gone. I got a youngin', and she alright. She live in a house with her moms and all her aunts and shit like that. Her aunts are super educated out. They not fucking around. So at the end of the day, for me, it's just like, I'm pulling up to channels because I want to have a boxing conversation. This shit is therapy. I'm looking for a distraction. I don't want to get upset because I'm giving you a different insight. I'm giving you a different perspective. On one of the episodes that I actually did on this channel, I was telling people about stipple. That was one of my housekeeping. The artistry of stipple is just dots, and you create a picture with just dots. You feel what I'm saying? Your dots show shadow, they show everything you need, but it makes a picture. I tell people, if you stay close, then you're only gonna argue the dumbest points. But if you every once in a while you step back and you look at the whole picture, when someone's giving you a different perspective, whether you agree or don't agree, you can understand because you're a person that's looking at it from all the perspectives I'm looking at it. I'm going in depth, and then when I don't see nothing really relevant in depth, I'll pull back out and just look at what the surface is showing me. And if the surface is showing me enough, okay. But hey, look at that little point right there. Let me zoom in over there. All right, there's some in-depth shit over there. And people just want to have everything binary. Many channels and many people who pull up on the channels that also have channels, everything is binary with them. And I'm like, how the fuck is boxing so binary with you? Like boxing is a combat sport. And it cannot be binary. It's a combat sport. It's just unknown.
And just because you're a Crawford fan, don't mean you're against Boots. Like you want to believe it. Like show me somebody who's gonna make Crawford want to avoid him, because I want to see what that look like. Show me that, so I could be like, damn, maybe it's not one thing that maybe even crossed my head to be like, yo, I still think like OG gave Young a pass, because he know this kid can't afford to lose right now.
All day. And that was always my argument. Can Boots competently, fight against Terrence Crawford? I don't want to see Boots made into a cur. I don't want to see that who was it? Lubin? That's who we were talking about, Body, who got rocked like that. I don't want to see what happens like I was with Mel Charlo. When Mel Charlo,
it was Lubin, Everson Lubin.
Yeah, Mel Charlo smacks the nigga stupid. He ain't the same no more.
Yeah, so the fact that you can see that point you just made, that's what I'll be trying to say, but it'd be way too many voices and way too many people with their own little agendas that it's like that's a reality. It's like it's not just people that love Bud that's just looking to hate on Boots. There's people that I know are Bud only fans. Like I don't agree with them about a lot of the things that they say about Bud. I don't listen to them when they talk about Bud because they start getting cultish. But they are assessing Boots in a fair way, the way we do everybody else.
They wanted to pick up the torch, bro. And the line is there. If he goes after Fundora after this fight, bro, and then moves up to 160, you cutting your own lane, bro. You making your own lane, your own history. And them fans gonna follow, bro. You gonna have a fan base. Them fans, they like seeing the switch hitting. They like shit like that. They don't like the talking. He don't talk. I don't need, you know what I mean? Sound like his 70-year-old pops anyway, because that's all he ever been around. You know what I'm saying? So like,
let me ask you about something though. Let me ask you about that Jahad Tucker and that Yuri Stadeno. Because when I seen Jahad, I'm trying to give him a fair shake. But when I saw him at the weigh-in, this was the ceremonial, he kind of looked sunken in a little bit. Like I want to pull for Jahad, but that's the day. That fight might steal the show.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bomb burner. I'm taking the under. I took under 8.5, I think, on that. I don't think he's gonna go the distance. Somebody getting dropped, a lot of tension in there. Homie, the Dominican kid said, yo, Dominicanos are crazy. Tucker was like, we all get punched in the face. We all crazy. Like, this gonna be a good one, man. This gonna be a good one, man. I want Tucker to win. He's a New Yorker. He should. He got that one loss, and he was in negotiations with Yo-Yo Hernandez. So maybe that happens next. But if the Dominican kid pulls it off, man, him and Yo-Yo be crazy. So, damn, I don't know who's gonna win this one. I know this one might steal the show. I'm going with. I took the under 8.5.
Okay. Safe bet. What about the Vargas kid? Are you buying into the Vargas kid? I don't think much of Bryce Mills. I mean, he all right, but like, who do you think Vargas is ready? Like, is he ready?
I heard coach sent somebody to spar with the kid. What's his name? Price. And when homie came back, he asked him, "Yo, how'd it go?" He was like, "Take Vargas by knockout." So I don't know. But as far as Vargas, man, they keep saying him and Mason gonna meet up, and that's another thing right there, man. They got the gloves when they're handling that kid, but I'm okay with it. His father left enough in the ring. I'm good with him getting a little soft, nice career, getting to the bag. But keep him away from Mason when Mason go to 140. You know what I'm saying? But he should get past. He should. I don't know. I left this fight alone, but I think he's gonna be. What I heard about it, it might be. He might knock that kid out.
I could probably see that, but something is. I don't know about this kid. He just got that weird ass look that's like gives you the upset vibe because the other guy got the big name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a blue collar. He
Morel.
started late. He's coming from kickboxing.
Yeah,
you know
like
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I heard he had a knockout that was really an elbow. Vargas mentioned something like that. I'm meaning to go back and check it out.
But at the end of the day, I say it like this: when you come from a kickboxing background and you go into boxing, it gives you certain advantages that the regular boxer just doesn't get, because now the mind sees how the two disciplines actually sharpen certain skills. I asked this particular question because this was something I've always wanted to know from someone at the professional level, because I started out with Taekwondo and then I went into boxing. I never fought. I wasn't an amateur. I just fought in my PAL. But, you know, between the people who saw me, they was like, yo, you're a natural switch hitter. You do everything naturally. Who taught you? I was like, no, I just do what I do from Taekwondo. And I had that pendulum style, because Taekwondo, you're on your toes and you kind of do the pendulum style.
Algieri came from kickboxing. Chris Algieri.
Okay, so I asked this young kid, Joseph Brown, did that help him or sharpen him up or allow him to be a natural switch hitter? Because martial arts, you're always going to start with the strong hand as the lead. And he was like, yeah, that was one of the biggest blessings, because it automatically turned me into a switch hitter without having to, you know, train myself or even be stuck to fight in one stance.
Let me ask you this. When that dude Rico, being that he was like a career kickboxer, he had to use some of his mental to, like, throughout that fight. Then it lasted like a long, like that shit went towards the end of the fight. You using some of your mental, like controlling yourself not to shoot or kick, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially that late in your career, like kickboxing, just switch and to have to fight a champ and be like restrict yourself, because you know you set up with your hands, so you restricting yourself from throwing that kick.
But here's the crazy part about it: when you're actually in the tournaments, or you're or the tournament to increase your belts as you're going up in your particular discipline, you don't throw a lot of kicks, because in those tournaments you can get the takedown. In Taekwondo or kickboxing, you do get the takedown point. So if you catch the kick and you sweep them, that's a takedown. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So they only throw kicks like if I got you hurt or I'm really, really sure.
But even that, like as Usyk is circling, especially the way he moving shit, part of your mental is like, y'all gotta block this kick. You know what I'm saying? Because you just in the ring.
It comes because the natural reflex is I threw my 1-2, and now I want to hit him with the 3, which is the low kick. You feel what I'm saying? Or the rib kick or the T. So in any of those events, you got to remember it's just a 1-2, back out and circle around, and then throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back out and circle around. You become the type of fighter that peppers people up, and then once you hurt them, you feel what I'm saying? Then you go in for the big shots. But when you look at how Joseph Brown fights, he don't fight that way. He fights in the way of Tito Mercado. He's looking to finish. He's throwing bombs. He's getting those level dudes out of there. He's not even playing with them. So if there's this newer generation of kickboxers that are coming in, they have a different mindset. And I'm not saying anything about it, but I'm expecting Vargas to put pause on this dude, but I'm just like, let me watch you, because I think you might be one of those dudes that sneak one of those punches and that's gonna fucking do some damage or expose Vargas in a certain weird way. Maybe not. Like I said before, I don't know shit about this dude. I'm just like, okay, who the fuck is he? But they're saying he's on a 14 fight win streak, got a lot of stoppages in between there. I'm like, all right, he's prospect of the year, got a lot of respect for Vargas and shit like that. And it's just like, let's see. Sometimes those humble, nice guys be the dudes that tweak, because once they step in the ring, that switches, that switch goes on and you get something different, man. But
And so it's 14. I think he turned pro in 2023. So it's 14 fights in like almost 3 years or something like that.
yeah, some crazy shit. So I'm just like, bruh, it is what it is. Let's just see what happens. And people, you know, other channels that I've been on, they're making all of these weird excuses and all of this nonsensical stuff, and everybody wants to be the consummate boxing expert instead of just saying, you know what? It's looking like it's a great card. There's a lot of interesting fights on that. If you're just a fan of the sport, I want to see if Ben Whitaker is going to keep the trend of now being a disciplined boxer. So for me, that's why I'm interested in the Ben Whitaker fight. I'm interested in seeing what Jahai Tucker look like, because I love Jahai Tucker's energy in the fucking weigh-ins, because he just looked at the dude like, okay, you still trying to be a clown. Yo, here it is. Here's my muscle. I'm not feeding into this dumbass dude. I'm about to fuck this guy up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm loving the fact that he switched that dynamic, because you and I both know, like Deer Park, that's like the, you know, outside of you leaving the Jamaica Queen stop, depending on where you go, and Deer Park is damn near the next stop. And I think that's when you're going towards Hempstead. That's the Hempstead Brooklyn line, if you've ever been on the Long Island Railroad. So now that he's coming out of Brooklyn, I'm like, yo, city biasness, fuck it. Get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm being selective. You got to show me something when you want to claim this. And right now, Jahai, you got to really fucking show me this. Because I know you coming from Deer Park and all of that, but you trying to rep Brooklyn, my nigga? All right, bro, show me something. And this is the type of guy that I'm expecting you to show me something. Are you the Shoo? Because right now, who holding Brooklyn down is Shoo.
Yeah, Shoo on the fourth card too. He on the fourth card too. First defense.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, are you him like that? Now, there's still some things I want to see from Shoo in the first title defense, but I'm pretty much locked in on him. But at the end of the day,
I'm not gonna lie though, man. I ain't gonna lie though, man. Shoo's my guy Zaya's fucking lucky charm, man. Shoo's supposed to be on this card defending his shit, man, in Brooklyn. I don't know what the fuck happened there, man. That shit was crazy, man. Because he won his shit and this dude defended on in the same night too. It was just that Zayas was in Puerto Rico. But if you look back at their careers, they was always together. They came up together in the same cars. This shit would have been dope for them both to be on the same car.
Fighting at the Barclay, like, come on.
Give Shoo his first defense in Brooklyn though, man. Give him his first defense in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Shoo loving the Garden though right now, because
I think that's where they had their run. Zayas and him used to be the Garden run with Top Rank.
But D Calico, what it is, bro? What's your red, bro?
Yo, what's going on, God?
Yo, salute D Calico, salute, man.
Salute, Trent, bro. Hey, bro. When I tell you, man, like being as talented as a Boots Ennis in any sport, could you imagine Deion Sanders not going up against great competition? You know what I mean? Not going up against the Jerry Rices, the Michael Irvins, you know, the Chris Carters. Like if he did not go up against the greats, and then all of a sudden he finds himself in the playoffs, in the championship game, how would he perform? You know what I mean? We know you know, for years had all them skills, but you just never got to sharpen it up against the very best. You know what I mean? So it's like, that could be a vulnerability. You know, it's no different than Devin Haney dragging a fighter like a Boots into a big fight, because now you really under the bright lights. Xander Zayas has just put this guy under the biggest microscope. The world is watching. The world of boxing is finally watching Boots Ennis. I don't think there's never been a time before that the world of boxing is watching Boots Ennis. And he had, of course, it's just so much pressure on the brother. You got Crawford talking shit from the sideline like he'll come out of retirement to whoop your ass. Like, it's just crazy. You got little motherfuckers like Haney talking shit to you, like, you know, like, it's really time to put up a shut up. You know, like, is he a student of the game? Like, or is he just talented? You know, we've never seen him have to, you know, readjust his game plan or be able to, you know, or never ever need to. You know, he's gonna need a plan B in this kind of match. You know, like, just plan A will only last so many rounds. You're gonna need plan B. You know, because I think he's dealing with a more disciplined fighter, that his corner will analyze what's being brought in those first 4 rounds and make the proper adjustments, and Xander will follow suit. You know, he's better at listening to his corner and really following whatever game plan it is. You know, and it's the best test that we can get for a guy like Boots. I'm happy.
Your D Calico, you know, Cambosis had that corner when he beat Theo, and then he dropped him.
Ooh, that's crazy. Yeah, damn, that's saying something for real. Because I mean, it's just showing that it's some wizardry. You know what I'm saying? It's some wizardry in that corner, that they know the weaknesses. You know, of course, everybody know this guy is the fucking goods, but do not be so blinded that we don't see the weaknesses. Because an opponent has to capitalize on that. You know, they have to capitalize on the fact that Boots is not going to be heavy on the jab. I mean, it's possible, but it's such a big fight. I don't see Boots being able to, you know, do what you were just asking of Ben Whitaker, like, you know, just box. You feel me? Just do the right thing. Boots is coming in and out like he the boogeyman, man. You know, I think he gonna try to treat him like he'll do anybody else, and that might make him look like a novice to Xander and his elusiveness. You know, like, I think the judges should count the fact that there's gonna be a lot of missed punches in this fight. I don't know how they're gonna award the aggression, but me, I'm a percentage guy, and I think the percentage is gonna be lower than ever. You know, and I think that could spell trouble for Boots.
Can I point one thing out to you, Calico?
Yo,
I gotta point this out to you, bro. Bozy said they don't change. He said,
I know.
everything the same. We don't change, because nobody brings it. We haven't been with anybody that could bring it out of Boots, and we don't see anybody bringing it out of Boots. Nobody gonna bring Boots to that next level. So
we don't even know if it is in there. We don't even know if it's in there.
Me and you know better than that, though. A simple game plan could alter everything.
So, but he said they don't change. He was like, nah, we didn't change. Nothing changed. Nothing different. Boots know what he got to do. Nobody out here is bringing Boots to that next level. And he was like, I keep telling y'all that nobody is bringing it out of Boots. Okay, so when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, based on that level of competition. So if you're looking at Xander Zayas at the same level, you're looking at Stanionis, Roman Villa, Castio Clayton, Lipinets, and those type of guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think y'all overlooking Xander.
Definitely.
You're overlooking what he brings, because you keep saying yeah, he's a good boxer, but we haven't seen anything to where he can bring that thing out of Boots. So we didn't change nothing. So okay, so that means Bozy, y'all did some film study on him, or y'all watched a couple of his fights, and you said, okay, based on some of the flaws we see, based on foot movement and punch placement or whatever, no, we don't got to do nothing different. Train the same way you trained for everybody before him. Even
This
though
is the first fight he got picked too. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, that's according to both sides. The fight falls apart. He gets in contact with Eddie. Eddie shows him, okay, these are the fights that we got for you. He says, all right.
Even if it's not picked, it's somebody who's
Xander.
looking at him, analyzing him, trying to go in there to beat him.
Yeah, and then on the opposite side, when Xander said he heard that the fight got was not going to happen and stuff like that, and he said, I think he said he got a phone call from someone, his manager, telling him the fight's not going to happen. He was like, Boots is out there. He said, all right, give him to me. That's the fight I want. So go ahead.
No, I got an honest question for the panel, right? Just honest. Like, hey, Body, you there, Body?
Mm-hmm. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Like, I want to know which one of these two fighters, Boots Ennis, Xander Zayas, is the better at hit and don't get hit.
By default, it gotta be Xander. Because that's how he had to make his living.
That's his skill set, right?
His style. See, Boots' style is he'll take one or two. He kind of got the same. He might take a couple. He got a little tank in him. You know what I'm saying? He got a little tank in him. Well, sometimes he gotta get lathered up. He sometimes he like to get hit because he knows he got some chin insurance. So, by default, you have to default to Xander because he has to. He don't have the power to be able to afford that. He don't, so he had to get it on the move. You know what I'm saying? He had to pretty much. That was his style. That's the same style that similar, but it's the Devin and Josh Kelly. He's in that ballpark by the fight.
Yeah, but that's the style he's running with. It don't mean you're not gonna see the rooster in between spurts in that fight. If Xander sits down, he's gonna have some power, and that's the mistake that they're making going into it. They ain't learned from B. Norman. You can't go in there thinking no man can hurt you. You know what I mean? And their resumes are really, really similar. His VR is Zaya's Damian Sosa. Damian Sosa was coming in hot after beating the oldest Valle brother, and that's a Mexican coming to fight a Puerto Rican, and Zaya shut him down. The kid just know how to win. He coming there feeling and knowing he got a game plan to beat Boots. And the more you miss, like D. Calico, I was saying, man, I call Boots chancletas. That's sandals in Spanish. And every Puerto Rican been weaving chancletas from their moms since they was 5 years old. So it's gonna be a lot of missed chancletas in there, man. So we don't know, bro. And I want him to show me, D. Calico. I need somebody to show me. We need a Philly fighter rocket. Zaya's gonna be all right with the loss. Boots ain't. Bro. So I want to be proven wrong.
But let me ask, hold on, before you go, Calico, I just wanted to ask, I've heard other people say that if Boots loses, he's done and stuff like that and things like that. I would say this, and this may sound a little strange. Let's say Jerome Boots Ennis loses, right? And the rematch clause was contingent on the winner, whether the winner wanted to rematch or not. You feel what I'm saying? And let's just say the Sebastian Fundora fight opens up for the winner, and that winner is Xander Zayas, right? Xander's gonna definitely try to get the other belt from Fundora, right? Boots, there's guess what fight I think is gonna be, who's gonna run towards this man? Devin Haney and Bill Haney are going to do everything possible to try to make that Boots fight, because now he's vulnerable.
No, not if he loses.
No, I think even if he loses, even if Boots loses, Devin Haney still makes the fight and the fight still sells because between the Boots fans, they're gonna say it's an anomaly. It's a lot of excuses. Devin Haney will be the guy that Boots gets his bounce back off of. Oh, you just beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney beat Brian Norman Jr. That was the fight you were supposed to take. Devin Haney is the smartest fight for him. Just like I'm been trying to go back and body footage to see that when that day we was talking about what's next for Boots after the Wisma Lima fight. I think I said, and I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I said, fuck around, this dude might fight Xander Zayas if Xander can't get a fight. And I think I was saying if he can't get a fight, Xander is probably the next best thing if Xander can't bag Fundora or somebody else. Or one of these other fights for him don't go through. Leave Virgil alone. Virgil has no hardware. You should be looking at Xander or Fundora if you're Boots.
Yeah, same thing over Haney. Like if there's no hardware involved, like the only way he fight Boots now, if Boots struggles in a win versus Xander. If Boots just smashes Xander, Haney will be a nut.
That's a good
He'll
point.
be a nut.
No, I wasn't saying if my point was if it wasn't Boots who won, it's Xander who won. Boots lost. Your comeback fight and to get back in the good graces is to beat the shit out of Devin Haney. Is that possible? That there's a storyline behind that. That fight was, we were talking about going up to 47 to fight Boots. Now we're talking about going up to 54 to fight Boots.
Like watch this real quick. Like let's say Keyshawn and Ryan Garcia fought. Keyshawn Davis and Ryan Garcia fought. If Keyshawn lost, Haney would not fight him.
That's Keyshawn. That's not Boots. It's a difference in name recognition. Keyshawn.
But the loss takes that away from Boots. All that hype goes away. You know what I'm saying?
Does not.
Haney's
won the best fight.
The best fight, and also if he ties bringing them younger, he's bringing lighter people up though, man. That ties him up, right? So now he putting his 147 belt up on the line against lighter weight fighters. He wins those two fights. By the time I'm talking about Haney. By the time he gets through them fights, he only got to fight probably one more person to unify 147. That's the route Haney taking.
He not taking that route because if he was taking that route, he would have fought Rolly. That's just the movement. He would have after Rolly, you had Ryan Garcia. Or Ryan Garcia first because after Ryan Garcia went,
but that's fighting. You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. But that's fighting 147 pounders. If you get Cor and Key on contracts, those are two guys coming up. By the time them fights are done, he fights one more 147 pounder to unify.
Yeah, but that's not what he's doing. That's not what he's doing. He's talking about fucking Shakur at 144 or Tank at 144. What I'm saying is this: you have not shown me that you're looking to fight any other champions. You postured with Ryan. You did some goofy shit with Rolly. You feel what I'm saying? Now you were talking about a 144-pound fight with Shakur, and now Tank is in the mix.
So that's my point. You see my point? He stays busy with those. Listen, he stays busy with those fighters. The belts are moving.
He's not making the fights. That's the part I'm trying to tell you.
No, but if the fights get made, if them shits get made though,
no,
them shits get made. But Tio Rolly's about to get announced.
There is no proof that any of those.
Power already got the other belt. The belts are moving.
Okay, the belts are moving, but what I'm saying is, if Boots loses at 154, Devin Haney was already talking about fighting Xander at 54. You were talking about fighting Boots at 47, and then you said, no, why would I do that when I'm not even at 47 yet? I just got here to fight Boots. Now Boots loses, gives you leverage. It makes an interesting dynamic. That fight sells more than trying to fight damn near almost anybody else at 147. That's the point I'm making. Devin Haney actually gets leverage. Boots beats his ass. He's back in good grace. Because now you beat the boxer. Now you beat a boxer who some people can compare with Devin Haney. Does Xander Zayas box like Devin Haney? Is he within that, supposed to soft punches, doesn't have whatever, like an Albert Bell, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Richardson Hitchens? All of these guys are considered pure boxers. So you lost to one pure boxer, you beat the next good pure boxer that actually did a little bit more than Xander.
I don't put Devin with like Kerr or Bell.
I
He's
don't.
more like a straightforward whole. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there. He's got to sit down his punches now because he ain't gonna be able to rely on that clinch at 147, at 154.
But look, the thing is, man,
That's why he's bringing in Tony.
I don't want us to get lost in the weeds, man, when it comes to Devin, because I don't think that one, if Boots obliterates Xander, like everybody say he is, Devin ain't going nowhere near Boots no time soon. It's gonna be once Boots go up to 160. If Xander happens to win and it's close or it's controversial, they definitely gonna jump on it. Why? Because at that point in time, they really wouldn't have nothing to lose, and there's no threat. Like, see, they run towards if you're green or if you don't have no threat or no real power, like, and they have an advantage. So I don't want to get lost in that, but I want to bring this up, y'all. Going back to what D Calico said, because Xander is one of them guys. The same kind of pressure I'm putting on Boots to say, I'm from Missouri. Show me, because you didn't show me with Bachram. And whatever happened with Brian Norman, we went over that ad nauseum. We didn't get to Brian Norman. So show me. You showed me with Stan Giannis. I was in the building. But when it comes down to Xander, he beat a dude in Teixeira, Patrick Teixeira. Patrick Teixeira unanimously, he won a unanimous decision against Carlos Adames. He UD'd Nathaniel Gallimore. So that's how he makes his living. Like, if you think about it, when you look at Carlos Adames and what he was able to do with Hamza Shiraz, and you would think that a guy like Teixeira, I don't know if y'all know him, but that's the one that Castano beat.
Yeah.
Get his strap when Jamel, when Jamel was on his run for Undisputed. He wound up going back to back with Castano. But he, at that young age, when he beat Teixeira, because I didn't think much of Teixeira, even though, you know what I'm saying, like, I didn't think much, but like, that's how he makes his living, by boxing. So he's the one he's the stick and mover. He's the one that's going to do more of the proverbial sweet science. You know what I'm saying? So that's his go-to. And I said that he can't, in this fight with Boots, I think that he can't afford to get away from his game plan. See, Boots has all the talent and, in the universe, given skills or whatever, to where it gives him the ability to not have to be so crispy, have to be so pristine, to take,
he can make some mistakes
to land his one big one. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if it comes down to that boxing shit, straight pure boxing, and we talked about, I think, who was that? Was that D Calico who said? Somebody when the last one we had, if it come down and it's close, man, they gonna love. No, that was Travis that jumped up here. If it's close and it's up in the air, when they both looking down and they all nervous and they don't know and it's going to the scorecard, they gonna give that shit to Xander, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, put it like this. I'm gonna tell you something people don't take into account because they don't want to give Xander's opposition any credit. But the majority of Xander's fights, the opposition was a bigger puncher. You know what I mean? So he's accustomed to this to a degree. Of course, it's not the level of Boots when it comes to offense, but it's always been that threat of being hurt. And this guy has been facing that for a long time to be such a young man.
Okay, I wanted to bring up this point because it's piggybacking off of what you just said, Body. When we talked about Lamont Roach, right? if I'm gonna use the right fight. But we talk about at times. I'll just say it like this: fights that we've seen to where the challenger didn't quite pull it off, and we were talking about some judges still go by you got to beat the champion to become champion, and where for me, if I'm gonna feel like the decision is gonna go to Xander because of the performances and it's a close fight, then it has to ask the question. As I would ask the question as a judge: did Boots do enough to beat the champion, to dethrone the champion? And if the fight is close, I'm gonna say no.
Also, I think, man, with all the fucking hype around this kid, man, them judges they gonna give it to him with a smile on their face, man. You gotta, the hype, man, shouldn't be no fucking close fight, man. They gonna be like, get the fuck out of here, die ass.
No, I kind of think so to a certain degree, but I'm just like, hopefully we'll have good judging, and the scorecards will reflect good judging. I'm also a person that feels judges have preferences. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen in different fights, just throughout boxing, where judges have preferences. But before I go there, to keep in theme with the show, I just want to ask everybody, just within the space of boxing, mixed martial arts, or just keeping in the space of boxing, what is your biggest pet peeve? Let's just air that shit out, And I'll start with Calico, and we'll work our way back to Body.
Yeah, what's been bothering you, D Calico, with boxing, man? What's the pet peeve? Well, if he ain't ready, Trini, you could take it. What's your pet peeve, Trini?
I bet.
Them bullshit ass stoppages, man. I'm still not over the Matthias shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm salty over that shit. And there's a lot of bias into that, man, because that dude only had 3 amateur fights, man. For you to become 2-time champs coming out of an island like Puerto Rico with that little bit amount of amateur fights, that's something, man. Had a gritty lifestyle. I felt like that was a fucked up stoppage, man. I know a lot of people disagree, but it's coming out now. You know what I'm saying? All the research being done, how the father of Dalton, seeing how broken up he was getting, and how that ref, we reviewed footages of all his other fights, and he gave everybody that walk, come over here shit. So that shit made me even more upset. And then seeing Nick Paul get face planted and allowed to try to continue. The bullshit stoppages was, even the fucking Rico and Usyk fight, the bell fucking rang, man. Let us see the last round. Let our boxing champion go finish this kickboxer. That's my biggest pet peeve, man. There's no more fucking stoppages, man. I mean, and I do respect it when it's done right. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. That was a good one, man. Because
Hey.
even in that Rico fight, they did a review on it, and they deemed that stoppage was called after the bell, and they said, you know what, we're still not gonna reverse the decision. I'm like, that's some bullshit.
Come on, you robbing us for the last fight, and seeing, because Usyk, we want him, you know what I'm saying? Yo, get out of here bringing that sport over here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro. Put it like this. When it comes to boot style, like, I'm gonna compare it to a Mexican style just because you know how sometimes a Mexican, if they don't like a mover or a pure boxer, hit themselves on the chest like, come on, motherfucker, like, come on, all that bravado type shit. So Boots in this, his style is so bravado that he's challenging you. Bring it, motherfucker, let's do this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's so much bravado in it that if a person ignores that shit and stick to their game plan, they can make it a long night for Ennis, and he don't even see it coming. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so bravado, he's so badass. If you do exactly what he wants, you gonna fold. But if you do the opposite of what he wants, You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a struggle, man. I'm telling you. You feel me? You just can't fall for that that machismo shit.
But
Like, you
but
know,
D
pleasing the
Calico,
crowd, like Shakur would say.
but D Calico, what's your biggest pet peeve with boxing right now?
I'm not a fan of social media. You know, like social media is fucking a lot of shit up. You know what I mean? The rap game, you know what I mean? The boxing. It just seemed like it's so saturated with blah blah blah. You know what I mean? They won't even leave it up to the commentators to do the commentary. They up there doing that too. You know, I'm just saying, like, they just talk too much on the Twitterverse for me. You know what I mean?
Word, that's a good one.
Make no sense.
We definitely in that era where somebody say something on social media, it's the gospel, boy.
Yeah, man. I ain't never seen men do that much talking. I'm gonna be honest.
What's yours, AC?
Mine is a boxer says something. I'll take the Devin Haney situation. Devin Haney said the contract with Rolly was a good contract. Everything was good. We're just working out some final details. Can you talk about money? No, but you know, everything made sense. You hear him clearly say that, but then all of a sudden, when Bill says we weren't getting a guarantee or whatever, then no, the money wasn't right. Bill said the money wasn't right. And it's just like, okay, but did he say this? Nah, I never seen that video. You're a boxing content creator. You're talking about a guy that obviously I'm on your channel and I can see you're a heavy fan of this guy. But because you don't like the fact that this particular incident puts your favorite fighter in a bad light, you try to whitewash what he's saying and then choose selective memory to deny the fact that he said the thing that he actually said. And then these people go into these elaborate ways of trying to gaslight you. And for me, I'm given this situation because overall, my biggest pet peeve in boxing is the fucking gaslighting. That gaslighting shit, it's like, are we ever going to have a good conversation if both of us are a fan of a fighter? We both don't like what the fighter did, but one of us just won't say it. It's that Sesame Street shit. One of these things is not the same.
Bro, yo, I fell victim to the fucking gaslighting because that's the one Rolly and the one Haney fight that I wanted to see, man. Because I was curious to see. I feel like Rolly can land something in the clinch. His background with the martial arts would allow him to compose himself in them close quarters. So I was looking forward to that fight. Brown. And it didn't get pushed. They're pushing this other shit. He's the guy that beat you. He has a belt. There's two belts in the line. No push behind this fight. Like, what the fuck?
Brown is working in that camp. Joseph Brown trains with Mayweather's gym. Rolly Romero is a Mayweather gym guy. So they're just getting all type of shit all the way around. And this is why, as a Devin Haney fan, I am so upset with how he moved and then the gaslighting behind it. And that's like my biggest thing. You can't criticize your fan and then the fucking gaslighting. It's on you, Body.
I got one. Let me see. Because I always believe that the visual is always worth more than just me saying it. So mine goes along. I always say he who controls the printing page controls the thinking in this age. meaning that as long as people controlling the media, they're controlling the way people think, and this you see it in commercials. They'll tell you, "Oh, this is the best deodorant." It's like, well, how do you know that's the best deodorant? Like, how do you like because they said that? Like, it's killing you. You know what I'm saying? You're putting it right up under your glands. You know what I'm saying? That's how you
Yep.
get sick and all that. Like, but I got one of them right here. I'm gonna queue up the other one, but I want to show y'all this. Just give me 1 second, cause here go one of them. All right, here go one of them. This one of them right here. My thing is the way they're fudging. They're starting to fudge stats, y'all. They're starting to fudge stats, and what they're saying is like really controlling the thinking. So this is one of them. Let me get the other one. So look at that. Look at that stat line at the bottom. And this is how people don't realize that they get subliminally programmed into thinking. That's just like the conversation I was saying earlier when they be saying, "Oh, Tank don't fight nobody." I'm like, okay, well, let me do a video with all of the nobodies that he didn't fight, and let's take all of these nobodies out of the running for the fights to come. So who you gonna fight? If we take away all the nobodies, but this is how people get subliminally programmed. That's one of them. Let me see. This the other one. Hold on. Just gotta
Bro, that's crazy. How they gonna put Virgil Ortiz in front of the
I
champ?
don't understand this shit, man.
Okay. So you see, all right, y'all see where I'm going. So
Yeah,
that's one.
both of these guys, they're both unified. He's a former unified champion. He's the current unified champion. And a guy who hasn't had a belt in any division he's been in is sitting in the number one spot.
Exactly. When you said former, I'm like, ooh, not him. Yeah.
This the other one. Look, hold on. I gotta upload this. Here we go. All right, so we clearly see the issue because, all respect, Virgil, one of my guys, he in my intro. He the piranha in my boxes to watch, right? So I got mad respect for him. But like at 47, he was one of them guys, just like Stan Giannis, Boots. They was one of the ones that was waiting for the smoke to clear at 47 when Bud and Spence before they had to do the big dance, and once the big dance happened, but he got caught up and he had to move up. But in 3 divisions, he's never been a world champion. And look who's sponsoring this. So in 3 divisions, he's never been a world champion, right? But who's sponsoring this? Look at this other one. This one is very interesting. So you see this one. Look at this one. So look at this one. I should have showed this one first. This one got a C because Shakur is the champion. I guess because what? Why? Because he had the ring. And that's one of AC's pet peeves is what they did with the ring, because the ring used to be the true lineal. Like right now, if Jermell Charlo ever came back to 54, he would really be the true lineal, because when he was undisputed, nobody beat him at 54 before he moved up. So if he finds himself back in that division, he would be the true lineal. But if he came back, they're going to say that Fundora or one of these guys who they only would have belts if he didn't get stripped of his when they went there. But look at how they do this. Look at how they've been programming the masses. They got the C beside Shakur. Why? Because he went up and he fought T.O. because T.O. fought Josh Taylor. And even though he wasn't the dangerous or the most tenured there, they put the C beside him. Why? Because he got the ring. Then they got Dalton Smith, and then they got Keyshawn. Well, Keyshawn is campaigning at what weight division is he saying he campaigning at now? So he's getting the benefit.
147.
So he's getting the benefit
at 147.
But even at 140, I'm not putting him over. Russell lost his belt and got it back. I'm not putting Keyshawn over Russell.
Exactly. So
I'm not putting him over Motai either. No, wait. Who got the other belt?
At 40, it's Dalton Smith At 40 is Dalton Smith and
Gary Antoine Russell, Dalton
Russell
Isaac
and
Cruz got the interim, and Shakur got the WBO. The vacant is the IBF.
the IBF is vacant.
Yeah.
So Keyshawn, they giving him the benefit of the doubt and being number one at 47, but in the stat column they still got him here. It ranked in this one because he's buddies with Shakur. But let's go back to this. Let's go back to this one. How the hell is Virgil with no belt at the number one spot?
With no intention of fighting number 2. Scamson should have been made that happen. He was no way Ortiz was going to fight Sebastian.
Right. Xander got 2 straps. So by default, if you got 2 of the Infinity Stones, there's only 2 of them left, aside from the ring. But because nobody has that ring designation right now, which I almost heard, I thought they was gonna try to make this shit be for like a ring, and I'm like, man, y'all just getting crazy.
Yeah, they're trying to say something. Yeah, I was hearing something like that.
So
but Boots definitely going to 1 if he beats Zayas though.
Hey,
so
He's already number 1. He's already sitting at the number 1 spot.
salute, we fight all night. So not just this, y'all, but I seen another one, and this is a whole episode. Cause y'all know I'm a numbers guy. That's how I make my living. But this is the other one. Y'all, I don't know if y'all peeped this, but they've been showing these punch stats, right? Where they going over power punches, right? And who's the most accurate. And I find it so odd that Tank is not in any of the top power punching stats, but he throws the least amount of punches, but he lands the most amount of power punch. He's the most effective in power punching. They don't even have him in the top 10. And I'm like, see, this is how you poison the masses, because somebody that's not paying attention to that will be like, hold on, man. How is that so? If he's throwing the least amount of punches, but he's the most effective in power punches, he has to be in the top 10. He was number 1 for the longest time, but see, because they control the media and they can put out these stats, people take that as the gospel, and so they're fucking up the stats. And that's my whole thing. So even if you're not going with you're not sipping the Kool-Aid and you're not down with the Mannixes and the Max Kellermans and all that, you're going to be subject to things like those stat lines I just showed you. You would have to be in the know. If you were just going by the stats that they put out, you still would be poisoned, because they're not even doing that right. They don't even got my guy in the top.
Yeah, they're going against the grain, because math don't lie. And they fucking that whole statement up.
It don't lie. So that's my biggest pet peeve. It's like, man, that league can just because somebody associated with a certain promotional company, that shouldn't allow you. You shouldn't have the ability to be able to do that, because you're poisoning the fans, man. You're poisoning us. And it take a critical eye to catch it, and then you got to be bold enough to say it and be the salmon swimming upstream to point this shit out. Well, so not only is he not in the top 10 pound for pound, but look at what he's done. He's fought more champions than Devin. He's fought more champions than Shakur. He's fought more champions than any of these guys who went on to become champions and move up in multiple divisions to become champions. And if I took out all the nobody that he fought, who would fight anybody? So nobody can't fight Ryan. Nobody can't fight Lamont. Nobody can't fight Pitbull. Nobody can't fight Barrios. Nobody can't fight Hector Garcia. Leo Santa Cruz, he's gone. Nobody can't fight. He's not a champ, but nobody can't fight Frank Martin, who we all want to see. We want to see these guys mixing up with everybody. But if you look at the welterweight division, it was just like the Tank Bowl, where 3 of the champions, the guy that Ryan got the belt off of, Rolly, and the guy who Ryan. So it was Barrios, Ryan, and Rolly up there at 147 with belts. And he stopped them all. But he don't fight nobody. Let everybody tell it. So
yeah, I'm a little biased with Tank though, because I got my best fighting party, after party memories fucking with Tank, man. I need him active, man, for real.
Yeah, that's why I say that's why I don't just openly do. I make it a point not to just openly do, you know, content straight up on him because he's not active. So I don't want to be like everybody else, just make up shit, pull shit out my ass. But I gotta like it bothers me when it's like, man, y'all not even playing fair. Y'all not playing fair. For one, y'all paint all these narratives. For two, PBC, nobody from the PBC can do right because according to everybody else, David Benavidez duck Job Pataya, Rolly duck Devin. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tank fight when Devin say no to the contract. It's like it's crazy. It's like
and I like him going over there to that camp because that was a successful card when they was on the card together. You know what I'm saying? So that shit might work. Tank is tank, man. All you could do is fine tune him. You know what I'm saying? So like any trainer he could work with. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this. Basically, it's validated through the fudging of the numbers and stuff like that, because if you go to CompuBox, Tank isn't in any category. You find categories that got Lamont Roach, you got categories that even have still got Dillian White, still got Bernacek in a way. You feel what I'm saying? Power Punch is strong. Roman Galaza, Brandon Figueroa, Sabril Matias, William Zepeda, Brian Castellano. You feel what I'm saying? Juan Francisco Estrada, Oscar Duarte, Rafael Espinoza, Boachuk, and Angelo Leo. These are the guys that are at the top now, where they're talking about average power thrown punches. So it's like, okay, so Tank isn't up there. What are you saying? Because he throws far less punches, he's less effective? You feel what I'm saying? So it's weird how they've reworded some of the statements to whereas you're feeding into a system that, you know, some of the greater guys, like how the fuck is, you know, okay, here's a category where you would think if you wanted to make the argument for Tank Davis or whatever, to where you can say, all right, he shows up in this, but he has the higher knockout ratio than damn near everybody in that category. In the least power punches thrown, or fewest power punches thrown.
Yeah,
George
but the category, that category is power punches landed is where he should be either number. He should be number 1, 2, or 3 in that category.
Exactly, and he's not there at all.
At all.
His name is not at all. You got Dimitri Bivol, Kambosos, Anthony Joshua, and I'm reading from the bottom up. Rolly Wilder, Jack Catterall, Terrell Goucher, Josh Kelly, Yerden Ugas, and at the top, Yerden Ugas was number 2. At the top, I don't know how to pronounce Arslanbek Makhmudov. Makhmudov. Those are the guys. So you would expect to want to see if Tank was going to show up, he was going to show up in this category right here. That gives you, okay, he throws the least, but in this category, he carries the highest knockout percentage, even though he has the least power punches thrown. You can't even make that argument because there's no place you can make an argument for Tank Davis in the CompuBox, and this is why you kind of get, if you're going to use stats, numbers, and draw up sheets and all of this other stuff, this is why you'll get some of these weird names and Tank just won't be there because the data is not being presented in a way that, you know, you can really take from the data, have great conversations about the data and shit like that, like you used to. You can go back, you know, I would probably say, what, 7, maybe 10 years ago, you could go to CompuBox, and because this is, I mean, maybe even less time, because this is where I went to really appreciate Bivol. And that's why I was like, yeah, in my opinion, you got a lot of great boxers in this generation, but nobody's better than Bivol. As far as being the purest boxer, Bivol stats just crushes everybody. You feel what I'm saying? And that's when CompuBox was like really on it. Now it doesn't seem like they updated. You're keeping a lot of names because of I don't know what reasons. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
They
why
got
DeAndre Wilder relevant? Huh?
Yeah, like Ugas is on there. I don't think Ugas fought in like 3 years. I think
Yeah.
I mean it's that's and so but when you look at the tail of the tape and they show you, oh yeah, this and this and that, like they use it when they do that, but it's like it's funky because not only that, but like even when you go down to the WBA, I thought it was funky when they removed the champion. So now if you was a historian, if you was trying to be a historian or you want to do your research, you can go through there and you're not even going to realize unless you look and go to another source to realize that that was a title fight if it included the WBA. That shouldn't be so. Because those were championship fights. It was a belt. But if you go back to BoxRec, and none of them fights that's involved in the WBA are going to register as they was championship fights. How the fuck are they doing that? Like, so now you don't even want to recognize that, and it's a change in tide because now they parading around the ring being everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the ring. But I'm like, the ring is based off of who they dictate. But those two fighters were ranked in 2 of the traditional sanctioning bodies. So it's a house of cards. It all falls apart. It would be no ring if they wasn't ranked in any other sanctioning body. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's the big. That's one of my pet peeves. You know, I got a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But like, guess the other one would be, the main one would be what I said earlier, where because somebody's a Hall of Famer, or because like right now, if somebody heard Shady McCoy up there talking with Malik Scott and Max Kellerman, they would value his opinion over mine. And I would like, man, I loved him. He one of my favorite running backs ever. But like, it ain't no comparison, bro. Like you can't hold my jock strap when it come down to talking this boxing. But because he got a platform and they paying him, they take his word like the gospel. He can get up there and say all day, like, yeah, but he don't fight we know he don't fight nobody, but you know, he's never going to do this. And his opinion is valued. It's like, how you gonna like what Breadman said when he told Sean to tell, he said, if anybody else said this, I would take it as disrespect, but because you said, then you know what I'm saying, I respect it. That that's a crazy ass statement, bro.
Yeah, that shit wild. Like when Coppinger called Cardenas a fucking cab driver when he had that good ass fight against Anyway. But yo, let me jump off, man. I'm gonna keep listening. Gotta run down real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Salute. They better hope I don't get the bag, man. If I get the bag body, the whole world gonna hear your voice, man, because they need to hear it, man. I'll push you right to the front,
man.
It's gonna happen sooner or later, man. You know what I mean? The real always get theirs, man. They always push through the fake, man. And this world they're building, it's hard not to be a follower in a world full of followers, man. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you, man. Respect panel. Enjoy this fight weekend. Next week too. Boxing's great, man. Boxing gonna keep pushing through the bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, man. Enjoy your evening, man. Thank you.
Yeah, like one of my biggest pet peeves is the deliverance of data. You feel what I'm saying? And these content creators, you know, like when the whole WBC situation was going on with Terrence Crawford. Like, y'all know that's some bullshit, but yet everybody was like, yeah, this war. Yeah, you know, the WBC is taking a lot of flack from the fighters and the fans, and rightfully so, because we have to ask ourselves, what are the sanctioning bodies really doing for these fights? And it's like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck are you really talking about? They're signing contracts that make these spoiled brats fucking millionaires and prima donnas. You know? Like, yeah, let them go over to Zuffa and then find out that them dudes ain't gonna try to pay you the way you really think you're worth. At the end of the day, I can tell you I'm gonna pay you $1 million, but what if I never paid you the $1 million? I could tell you I'm gonna pay you $100 million and have you sign a contract to me, but what if I never paid you the $100 million? The fuck are you gonna do? Sue me? Your dumb ass signed the contract without really realizing that there were stipulations that I just couldn't deliver on that contract. So at the end of the day, the deliverance of information, and even when it comes down to responsible content creators, guys that have the biggest platforms, and you're sitting up there doing the same dumb shit that we're looking at the mainstream media do, and you're saying, yeah, we started social media boxing channels because we wanted to actually bring you the truth. But then when you stop doing that, what do I say? You're the $1 million contract that I never got paid the $1 million off of. That's who the fuck you dudes are. You told me you're gonna deliver all of this truth, facts, unbiasedness, all of this other stuff. You feel what I'm saying? You try to buy my views by telling me, yeah, we're gonna do this giveaway. I got these official Muhammad Ali gloves that are signed by Muhammad Ali. I'm doing a $30,000 giveaway if you tune into this, and the fan that does this, and I'm gonna give you $30,000. And what? You literally have to buy my views, you piece of shit. You told me you're just gonna deliver me good information. That was enough for me. I didn't need the fucking boxing gloves because I don't know if they were really signed by Muhammad Ali.
Yo, AC, man, this one nigga said he had got some gloves. He had got some. I think it was either a t-shirt or some gloves from the Hitman, and you know he got a little nervous thing, so he really can't sign nothing. This man literally said that the Hitman told him that he could sign his name and it's okay because he was told that by the Hitman that he can sign. I'm like, man, y'all part of a cult, man. Y'all part of a cult, man. You believe that shit?
And that's what I'm talking about, Body. Like, why the fuck are you out here trying to buy my views from me? Just the mere fact that you're giving me great information and I could tune in and listen to a panel cook with honest opinions, no biasness. Yeah, there's a couple of guys on that panel that are heavy Shakur fans. There are a couple of guys that are heavy Tank fans, a couple of guys that are heavy Devin Haney fans, and everybody's still just talking and delivering what it is, no biasness. What happened to all of those promises? You couldn't deliver on that shit, and then you said, you know what? I'm gonna give one of you motherfuckers $30,000 if y'all stay listening to me. Please. And here's the money right here. Here's a stack of money right here that I'm gonna give you. Like, wow, that is a pathetic age. And if we can't get that type of information and get a channel that's telling you, look, I do this because I just want to give you the information. You feel what I'm saying? Knowledge and experience most of the time is free. You feel what I'm saying? It's those that tend to have a gain of something that want to charge you for something that you can easily get for free. Because at the end of the day, why would I need you to give me $30,000 to hear you give me your opinion on the same thing I can search for myself and do it for free? Without your $30,000 or without getting dreams and hopes that, yeah, I think I'm gonna be the person to get the 30,000, and how would I spend that 30,000? Yeah, I'm gonna do this and buy me that. Like, what kind of fucking loser actually believes that I got a chance to win that 30,000 that this dude is gonna tell me he gonna give me? Like, how does that 30,000 work? Because you got cash, you gonna sell it to me? You feel what I'm saying? You gonna put it on a Chime card and mail it to me? A PayPal card, some shit like that? But at the end of the day, people should look at channels that are trying to do that and then be like, you're not in it for boxing. You're not looking to deliver boxing. You're looking to have a show. This is your show. This is what you do. The content is more about what you can deliver. And I say this in the vein of me looking at showbiz. It was many years I left him the fuck alone. I was just like, I can't fuck with this dude. Now that I came back, I see you doing $30,000 giveaways. You're you're in the studio acting like you're a rapper or a singer and all of this other stuff. And I'm asking myself, okay, is this a show about boxing or is this a show about showbiz? Yeah, sometimes you do break news, sometimes you do say some good things and stuff like that. Like the saying goes, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm the person that looks at it like this. If I fucking know the clock is broken, I'm never gonna look at it. I don't give a fuck how many times it's right a day. I just don't spend my time looking at broken shit and hoping that one day it'll give me the right time. You feel what I'm saying? Or hoping for that 1 hour during that day that it gives me the right time. But that means I have to be looking at something that works to hope and pray that the thing that doesn't work gives me the thing that I'm looking at that works. I'm looking at that fucking logic and saying, motherfuckers is crazy today, man. And you want to sit here and debate me and tell me that some of the things I say you just can't wrap your mind around. I can't wrap my mind around some of the channels that you dudes follow. And the fact that some of these dudes, you know, are talking about these giveaways and, you know, all of this other kind of stuff. And y'all buy into this shit. Like, do I...
You still there, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's pretty much where I land my plane, bro. But that's just a rant that's been inside me for the longest, because that rant transcends into so many different things, you know, and it just fucks me up that these type of channels are the ones that everybody's running to.
You know what I realized? I realized that a lot of these guys, they don't care about where boxing goes. They're just gonna pick the salacious shit. They're gonna keep the messy shit, and they just gonna run with whatever the messy shit is. And one day they on their soapbox preaching about AB and how he need to get his shit together, and the next day they like, oh man, it's dope, man, what he's doing. I understand it. It's like he's killing himself and being a gesture for everybody. I'm glad he got into that space, but he can't do that but for so long, man. And he just, you know, it's just what with the Clarissa Shields thing. She ain't had a fight. I think she just got a fight announced, but everything that's going on, they don't care where boxing is going, which leads to the other pet peeve of mine. Whereas the guys that are doing what we're supposed to do, they don't even get the time of day. Oshaki, you don't get the time of day. Brian Norman, they barely act like it was. That interview I seen with Brian Norman, it was a dude from across the pond. So they see more value in our guys than we do.
Yeah.
So they don't get the guy that's going about it and doing, like Gary Antoine Russell. I just named 3 people: Gary Antoine Russell at 140, Brian Norman at 147, and Oshaki Foster down at 130. They don't get half of the, and they're moving the way we need them to move, but they won't touch them with a 30-foot pole. You know, so they don't care what boxing is going, what I'm saying. They'll get up there and tell you a funky ass lie. They'll shit on Al Heyman and all. They'll shit on Al Heyman, all things PBC. They'll tear down like this recent thing with Floyd and that conversation that got leaked. I'm like, why are we doing this now? Like, that's not even. It's really not our business. Like, we don't even know what the fuck we were listening to. Like, and why are we going, like, you could hate or love Floyd, but why are we doing that as a culture? And why is everybody so accepting of that? Knowing that there's always people that's going to, no matter what, they're going to gaslight and play the other side. Like, they're going to act like they're going to play naive. Like, it's not an attack on a lot of the black fighters and sometimes the brown fighters, because I couldn't include David Benavidez in this conversation. Like, why the attack? He was just your favorite fighter, moving the way everybody said he moved, and now he's ducking Beterbiev, he's ducking Bivol, he's ducking Jao Battaglia. Why? Because he's associated with the PBC? So they don't care. Boxing is going to die. They're going to usher everybody over there to Zuffa, and they don't care. Why? They just going to report on all the messy gossip and whatever shit that's going to attract people to the stupidest shit that's involved with Zuffa, and everything goes along, and our sport is going to die.
Yeah, I go ahead, Calico.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely not a fan of the gimmicks. Like you say, showbiz. Like that's not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Whatever he be saying, coffee, 2 sugars, whatever that goofy shit he be on, man. Like, bro, that ain't my vibe at all. You feel me? Like he don't act like he really got a real bone in his body. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Like I don't know what's up with dude. You feel me? I think they trying to bring some flamboyance to boxing because I don't does he well he do got a son. Ain't that crazy? Like people like him make you question they goddamn if they heterosexual. I'm just saying, like I don't know, man. Dude ain't my cup of tea, man. Like you don't gotta bring all them gimmicks. You feel me?
He started off genius, and then you saw what he was doing. But they always, D Calico, I know what you be on, man, and they always get, if they could just get one of us. It's just like getting one of us to put on the dress. People say, oh man, shit, I put on the dress. You'll have grown ass man, I put on the dress. I'll say black 2 sugars if they give me motherfucking $1 million.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
But you also
Crazy,
like
man.
me, real quick. I just wanted to bring another guy in real fast because I saw a video that he did where he was trying to cop a plea, and it made me view him completely different. And that was the dude Cigar Talk, and it was just like, okay, that's the problem in social media, because if your platform is based on interviews and someone doesn't like what you have to say, then you don't ask the tough questions and you let guys just come up there and spit the nonsense without the real pushback. So because you were mad at I think it was Boots, he was like, yeah, I don't know what it is, but we during this fight week we're not going to get an interview with Boots because for whatever reason Boots is mad at me. I don't know, it's because I said this or I said that and yada yada yada. I've even heard True School kind of go down that route, and it's like, then just deliver the what's the name. If they don't like the facts, fuck them. That's not why you do what you do. And your channel is only going to grow but so much before you reach your ceiling that says, okay, since you won't ask the tough question, here's the crazy part. You look at who you are, and then you look at a motherfucker like Geraldo Rivera, who would piss everybody the fuck off. He didn't give a fuck when he interviewed you. Doesn't matter. Geraldo still rose to the top for many, many years. Just do what you say you're gonna do, and everything falls into place. People will respect the genuine over the commercial all day.
Yeah, but that's a problem with us being so it's the downfall of most things when it comes down to capitalism. That's a capitalism conversation, and that guy is a plant. So he's sent there to guide the masses in a certain kind of way, because he'll be the first one, something that don't even involve, like if it's to protect the core or anybody in that pack, he'll jump out on social media and say, oh no man, that's not real, because and throw out some crazy shit, and because of the platform and the fact that you might be able to get up there and talk to your favorite boxer, you gonna let that slide.
Yeah,
you gonna let it slide. So it's a lot of plans, and we just let them do it. Like that one guy, what's that guy? I think he might be Puerto Rican or something. He's not a boxing channel, but like that guy that they was doing all the dancer. And I'm like, have y'all noticed these guys that's been sitting across from these guys? Like, to your point, D Calico, it's a new guy on one of these FH channels who's been sitting down getting all these interviews, and he's softer than bird shit. I'm like, who are these guys that they're just popping up and putting in these positions to be, and they don't even know, they don't even sit down, Now I've seen where they even said not just him, but a lot of these guys that's been infused in there, thrown in there, and I'm like, where did these guys come from? Because they don't even sit down and do the research to ask the right question. I've seen them sit down across from Mr. Gary Russell and not know that he now campaigned at 135 and do a whole interview as if he's at 130. I'm like, what was this? Like, who are these guys that's being inserted? And that's why I say they don't care about the sport because, one, do your research. Take the 10 minutes, the 15 minutes at least, and guide the conversation with factual information. But you don't know who his last fight was.
Bro,
you don't know. Huh?
Bro, if they need cue cards, they need to get out of our sport. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the research has already been done. You feel me? So leave it up to the professionals is what they should do. You know what I mean? But they making themselves professional, even though we can all see they're novice.
I'd be like, what does it take? I mean, what does it take for them people to get inserted in them positions? And
hey, it remind me of what my boy who that is, Noriega. You know what Noriega say? You know, it's a door.
Yeah.
You know, he say either you can go left or right. He say, but I just went straight. You know what I'm saying? He said, but it's a door. It's definitely a door. You know, and them guys going through it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, man, that we gotta be vocal about. That's why I appreciate people saying the unpopular thing, even though it's right, because that's really being the salt of the earth in the grand scheme of things. That's really preserving. Right now, it ain't no integrity. People be getting up there telling bold-faced lies. They'll cut you off. We're not gonna allow you to lie on our channel, and then get right up there and tell like 9 or 10 lies back to back. You know, like to slander people.
Yeah. I laugh at them because I just come back at them like, hold on. First of all, you don't let me do a fucking thing. If you don't like the fact that I'm cooking this bullshit you saying, just that's it. Give me something that is debatable instead of your fucking feelings. I can't debate your feelings. I can, nor the facts. But we can have a conversation about your perceptions. This is the way you perceive it. This is the way I perceive it. If you're a grown-ass man and you're the content creator, you should be able to have these conversations because you're the person who put it out there. So if I travel around Brooklyn, New York, and I go downtown Brooklyn, and I pull up right in front of Fulton and Smith Street or whatever, and I put a stage there and I say, I'll debate, it's an open panel. I'm ready for the smoke. Let's chop it up about boxing. Right? And then a guy shows up about boxing. And he has a big duffel bag. His hair is kind of wet, sweaty or whatever. He looked like he just came from the gym or working out or whatever. And then he tells me, I'm a trainer. I train fighters. I train this world champion and stuff like that. And now I'm talking to him. And because I don't like what he say, I'm going to be like, nah, that's not true. He's like, yeah, but I'm in the business. Yeah, but so what? You're not in their camp. And it's like, oh. So then we have the nuances of, okay, you don't know the business of boxing, but then when I show you I know the business of boxing, then you narrow that scope down to, but you're not in the camp. And you're like, neither the fuck are you, so what are you saying, bro? We're having a conversation. Yeah, but I can't allow you to come up here and talk that nonsense when you're not in the camp and you talking like it's a definitive, just like the guy was trying to say to you, Body, and I was sitting there like, yo, if this panel was open, I'd be like, bro, at the end of the day, you're giving your opinion. Are you in this motherfucker's camp? No, so what the fuck are you talking about? Nothing you're saying is any definitive because at best, you're repeating something that someone else said. That's at best, or something you read. But other than that, nigga, none of us are in these dudes' camp. And if a dude is actually in the camp, guess what? When he starts talking, everybody has a tendency to mute up to see what the fuck he's got, what jewels the nigga gonna drop. That's just the way it goes. So when people try to start to narrow the conversation down and dwindle it down because you're cooking them because they're trying to tell you about the business of something, and you're telling them, okay, I own businesses and the way my business works, many of these things that we're talking about overlap. So I have a certain understanding of it. If you're going to talk about the sanctioning bodies, then there's a certain understanding I have about them, because that's the type of company that has bylaws and they needed federal approval. And I'm going through those steps right now. So I understand that there's the things that they can do and they can't do and how they operate. I don't know the actual mechanisms of how that particular company works, but just in the scope of how that thing works that we have in common of being a nonprofit and having to file a 990 and a 2083 and shit like that. Those things I know because this is what we have in common. And I can tell you how they fill that out. So hopefully that type of information, you'll understand how a sanctioning body can just make up a belt. Like you say, oh, sanctioning bodies just want to make up belts. Okay, but they have to put that in and inform the federal government that they will be introducing a new belt. And if they don't, that new belt, then it's just why it is just it's the same as getting a certificate from an online class about farting. That's about the same thing that has about the same weight as the fucking franchise belt. It was a designation. It holds no weight to the only to the people who give it the value. Bitcoin, nigga. But you telling me you're a businessman and you don't understand simple things like word like likeness. Like you tell a nigga the word like likeness and shit like that. These dudes was, oh man, see, now this nigga trying to give us a legal class and all that. Ain't nobody give a fuck about likeness. Yeah, but likeness is how Shakur got that fight. That's a term how the fuck likeness? Because you're not a businessman, so you don't understand the thing that I'm talking about on this level. You're not a person who's looking at a 501c3, so you don't understand what it's like. You're not a person who owns a company that hires people to represent your company. Spokesmen, all types of representatives, maybe sports figures. This is why companies that go after fighters and say, listen, I'm your PR guy. If they do something so egregious, their PR company will drop them. If it's not that egregious, they figure out something to do to try to sweeten that shit up. But at the end of the day, you can't go out there and have a video of you beating up an old lady and Coca-Cola sponsoring you. That's fucking up the likeness of Coca-Cola. That's fucking up the likeness of Wendy when Wendy's was talking about where's the beef. And here's this motherfucker that we're paying millions of dollars to, and he's actually out here beating up an old lady. No, this is where likeness matters. And when people don't want to understand and choose, selective ignorance and petty ignorance, I just want to be petty and be ignorant because I don't like that motherfucker. Okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, just admit it to me. I'll laugh it off and be like, yeah, that nigga real petty about this dude. I know who I'm petty about at times. I'm petty about Sebastian Fundora, but I respect what the fuck he do. But you pretty much try to tell me about any fighter, I may get on my petty shit like, nah, that nigga about to kick Sebastian Fundora's ass. Knowing that in my mind, I'm like, AC, Fundora's about to beat the dog shit out of this guy. But just to be on my petty shit, because I don't like Fundora, but I respect him, I'm going to say, nah, fuck that. I think this bum-ass nigga going to beat Fundora. And people going to laugh at me and be like, see, And Body automatically gonna know. You like, yeah, he just on that dumb shit because he been saying he don't like Fundora and he don't know why he don't like Fundora. So I'm not even gonna read into that or get pissed off at him about that or try to check him on that because that's just AC's thing. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Sometimes you just got to let people be the person, understand the fan base, and sometimes some of you content creators, when somebody comes from a more serious channel that's more database driven, then you got to give them the floor and give them the respect because they're doing the work that you won't do. And if you just want to sell narratives and build a show around the personality of you, then go ahead and do that. But then don't call yourself a boxing channel. Like we're looking to be, we're not looking to be biased and we're just looking to call balls and strikes and shit like that. That shit is corny. And you're not gonna buy me on that. And that's kind of like my inner rant. Body, you there?
Yeah, I said facts.
Oh.
Yeah. That's facts. It's you gonna keep putting the information out there. It's not gonna stop us, but we just in a weird spot, man. Hopefully, it's, hopefully, man. It's the pendulum. Shit get extreme. It's almost like how we used to have the baggy jeans. And then we went to regular, and then it went extra skinny. I'm waiting for the pendulum to swing back to regular jeans, But like with these extreme opinions and how people are thinking, we're at one extreme right now, and hopefully as these big fights get made, because I think it's a chain reaction. So all these fights announced, just like with Albert Bell and Abdullah. They're friends. They're cool. He's saying that's my Aki brother. That's my Muslim brother. That's my fellow Ohioan. I have nothing but love for him. But they're going to get it on. They're not going to do that Shakur and all that. So examples like that and having big fights like this back to back with all these fights we got lined up, hopefully it'll get back to being more about why we love the sport is actually the scraps. You know what I'm saying? The shit that we do is the shit that gets you in between the fights, that keep you motivated and intrigued and interested in between the big fights. So once the big fights get made, it'll be less, hopefully it'll be less narrative.
But Body, I gotta ask you this question just in the vein of what you just said about Albert Bell and Abdullah Mason. Does that put any pressure on Jay Prince to really look at that dynamic that he's got with Shakur and Keyshawn and be like, all right, guys, y'all got to make a decision because Mason is about to make you look bad. The boxing world is going to make it hard for me to sell big fights with you guys. Just get it out the fucking way. Do you think that fight puts pressure on Jay Prince? Not the other guys, but Jay Prince.
No.
Ooh.
No, it should. The pressure is there, but he's impervious to it. It don't make him any difference because he's the money guy. So he's gonna keep putting Shakur in situations, and as long as they don't have to. And at the end of the day, I was part of the first one saying, man, like I was the first one that came out and cooked the shit out of both of them. I said, all right, y'all gonna fuck up divisions to come, and here we are. 2 divisions later, here we are. Like it's staring us right in the face. The only thing that's going to save that is the same reason why Devin and Shakur are no longer BFFs. Remember, they were BFFs and they had that silent agreement that they would never fight and stay a weight class apart until it was utter necessary. And something changed. And Shakur started getting in his feelings. I think Keyshawn is going to be more of the one that's going to crash out once he wakes up and smells, and smells what's going on and actually can think for himself that, hey, man, hold on, man, this dude is hampering my career. Like, he's taking paydays. He's taking opportunities like this shit, and they're going to crash out. It's going to get ugly. And he'll still be at the mercy of Shakur And Shakur probably take the high road, like, nah, that's my brother. I got love. I'm just not gonna fight him, man. I wish him the best, and he's still not gonna do it. I'm just at a point to where I don't know. I don't even want to see that shit, even if it got announced. Even if Jay was like, all right, we're gonna put it on, because all they're gonna do. You think people say that Floyd was robbing the bank? At least Floyd was giving us these entertaining fights. Ain't gonna be no animosity in that fight. So I don't want to see it. So it's not that I let Jay off the hook. I just think he's impervious to it.
Okay.
You know,
Honest answer.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I asked the question, so at least if it ever should come around, because there's some weird rumors going on. I don't know how true they are. The recordings sound like somebody spliced them shits together. Of Keyshawn like calling Shakur a bitch ass and some other shit. So I've seen some other channels cover it, but they weren't AI channels. So the recording, to me, he says something and then he says it's a slight pause and then you hear bitch ass. It's almost like that recording of when you hear the original song with R. Kelly and I don't know if it's Biggie. I think it might be Biggie or somebody where he's saying something and then he says dumb bitch afterwards. Like if you heard the first recordings, it's some weird shit like that. So for me, I'm just asking the question just in case that thing gets legs, or there might be some truth coming out to it that Keyshawn has had this awakening already, and there's already the tension in it and stuff like that. That's why I'm asking the question to say, if that should happen, then what does it do for Jay Prince? Because he faced this situation, and I always go back and use it as an example of when there was Beyonce and Anne Marie. You went with the person who can make the more money for you, not the better singer who had the better sound, who developed the sound. You said, nope, we're going to take your sound, we're going to give it to her, we're going to do all of this and then pair you with the homie Jay-Z.
I mean, I foresee it coming. That's why I said, man, we looking at the making of. I see you, Jay Gibb. You say book it. You got Key. Yeah, I don't know. But I say it's, we was looking at the making of Creed 3. Whenever it does happen, and it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be like how relationships get when, you know what I'm saying, that when the thrill is gone and it's trouble in paradise. It's gonna look real ugly and toxic. But don't hold your breath, Jay Gibb. That's all I'm gonna say, man. We care about you. Don't hold your breath. I'm gonna say that. But shit, man, I thought one of my pet peeves was we do content, and it's a couple channels out here that see the content and they always come out and do the antithesis to what we do. And it's like, why do that? Why let me fuel you in your conversation and what you got going on, right? Instead of just clicking the link. So if we come out and do a show saying who's gonna be better for the business of boxing, right? And then you come out right after that and say absolutely is Boots. Well, click the link and tell us. Don't be hiding behind the bushes and shit, waiting and getting fed. You know what I'm saying? Getting bird fed. Just click the link. You know what I'm saying? My mute button is broke. I've tried to be real reasonable. You won't get disrespected. You might get your feelings hurt, but that come along with some boxing conversation. We could debate it out. We could set it up with structure. You can have the floor to speak and get it off your chest. I thought this was going to be one of them episodes, but once again, people probably getting their feelings, do an episode or do a show or a live, rebuttaling all the little key points and the nuggets, the juicy nuggets where they thought we were tripping, instead of just clicking the link. I thought this was going to be one of them nights. That's why I said, man, it was purge time. I thought it might have been some smoke. I thought people might have wanted to get some other shit off their chest, but I think we did a good job at pointing out some things, man, that bother us, and I think it's healthy to get it out and put it out in the atmosphere that these things bother us, man. How y'all want to land, man?
I'll land it right here. When you're dealing with the god of destruction and a mastered ultra instinct, motherfuckers ain't really running towards that smoke. You know what I'm saying? You need a tournament of universes and shit like that, probably to get people to pull up and stuff like that. But just like those two dudes, they cleared out all the smoke and then they had to go travel to actually get smoke. And that's kind of what we've been doing. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, people like Malazar, D Calico, you feel what I'm saying? Those dudes are like Majin Buu and Broly. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, we train with them, we spar with them, we work out with them. You feel what I'm saying? But you don't even want to fuck with them. You feel what I'm saying? Because within their perspective spaces, they own them. So, you know, today's show, like I said, for me, it was more on the lines of dedicating it to that song Nas had, The Truth. And that's why I was really, really going after a lot of content creators, because in the build up to this fight, and even in talking about the shit that was going on between Devin and Shakur and the sanctioning bodies, we've just had months after months after months after months. You feel what I'm saying? Of motherfuckers just like brainwashing people in the most dumbest ways. And just to go back to, you know, Jay's point, it's like all these niggas got that Majin Buu. I mean, not the Majin Buu. I forgot the dude that created Majin Buu, but the little M on their fucking forehead. You feel what I'm saying? That all you guys are being programmed by the same dude and the same talking points. And at the end of the day, when are you gonna step outside of that and use your own brain to say, okay, I hear what you say, but let me go and research it. If you're too busy to do it, okay, I get it. And then you will come on a panel and say, no, I really ain't got time to research. I just be bouncing around channels to try to see who has the comment that makes the most sense. Hey, bro, that's the way I started on these YouTube streets. I went for who was in line with some of the views I had and who was making the most sense. There were plenty of channels that I pulled up and then left them the fuck alone. But at the end of the day, when you come over here, at least, you know, there's going to be a standard. And at the end of the day, if you're looking for content, at least start with a channel that has a standard. And if you start with a channel that has a standard, then that gives you a building block to now move on to other channels and say, all right, I'm going to compare you to them. Are you delivering the information on the same level, the same unbiasedness and everything as them? Are you just calling balls and strike? Are you a person that's afraid to criticize your own favorite fighter, including your number one guy? Are you afraid to do that? So if you check off all of these boxes, then I'll hit that subscribe button. That's my price, because time is money. Money is time. So if I'm giving you my time, I'm expecting you to give something back, which is information that I can just build upon, hold in, soak in. And if I do have a free second of just some downtime and I have nothing else around me, I can just research that. Yeah, I heard this dude say that. Oh shit, it was really true. So let me read that article. Oh wow. And then slowly but surely you'll find yourself as a casual, but you'll call yourself an informed casual. You feel what I'm saying? And that's pretty much all this channel is asking for. Yeah, there's a lot of dedicated fans, but we also come across a lot of informed casual fans. That's always a fresher breath air. Their honesty is like, oh no, I don't got the time to watch a lot of things, but I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I kind of thought it was this way, but yeah, now that you guys cleared it up, it was yada yada yada, and then we'll elaborate on it and give them the timeline. They're like, wow, okay, that's what's up. I definitely sub to the channel, and I'll be in the background listening, or I'll catch the replays. We're good with that. At least I know Body's good with that because he's the one who started this. So that's where I land my plane, man. Great cook.
Appreciate you as always, man. It's almost like some in house keeping, man, and that's really what the channel is about. And the right people have been coming along. I always say, man, it's a niche. We're a niche inside of a niche. So, if you're meant to be here, you'll find your way here. And every episode might not be for you, but we're not gonna stop doing what we do. We're critical. Shit, AC be surprising me sometimes with how critical he is of Devin, but he's still a Devin fan. You know what I'm saying? And a diehard, but he'll go to bat for him if he needs to, but he's critical. So we don't do that double standard stuff. So even if you hear us talk about a Boots or some of the things that Bud did or some of these other guys, like, we follow our own example by being just as critical. You know what I'm saying? Of our guys that we are these other guys. So that's the nature of the channel, man. But salute, AC, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, same to you, bro. Salute to everybody on the playback and stuff like that. And I don't want to see within the next week or so somebody doing a low key show about the dilemma of Jay Prince. I'd be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Well, on to the next one, bro.
All right, AC, man.
And Calico's, man.
Yes, sir.
Calico's back. He unmuted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, shit. I'm always, glad to be along the ride, man. Shit, basically, I just be getting to enjoy the show up close because I'm a tune in regardless. You already know. You feel me? I can't wait till tomorrow or definitely after the fight when we really chop it up.
Yeah. We're gonna have a lot of fuel, man. So shit.
Yes, so hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna try to imitate Body on this one. Cause I love how you go round for round. You're a statistician of your, in your own right. You ain't worrying about, the metrics that they only deliver, because you're making your own assessment every single round, and that's what I got to do. Write it down for real.
Mm-hmm.
Real, that ain't nothing like that live analysis.
Yeah, but we'll see, man. Enjoy the babies, man. I love to hear them babies. As most people be getting, I love to hear the little babies, man. You a good father, man. I could tell because you always got your babies there. You know what I'm saying? So I salute that, man. And keep doing your thing, brother.
Guarantee. I appreciate y'all.
All right, man. Peace. Well, we had another good one, man. We put another good one in the books, man. Something that I was trying out, man, because sometimes we need to vent, man. I'm glad that like minds are gravitating toward the channel. You know what I'm saying? And saying what needs to be said. Sometimes, man, it's a saying, man, where they say everything that's lawful isn't expedient. I think sometimes we got to keep that in mind, man, when we be talking, man, because sometimes it seems like we forget the bigger picture. We might not agree with all these guys do. That's why this channel, we try to keep it like in the lane of boxing. We might step outside because sometimes the activity, like, yeah, he went right over there or he ran up on this person and said this and that, but we don't get into really their personal stuff. But I think what be missing with us and our culture, or people that resonate with us, because we got like the Melazars of the world that come over here. My man Trini just came over there. He said he part Puerto Rican. We got a diverse fan base, right? But like what we don't understand is that unless it's anything outside of being critical of the boxing skills and analyzing them as boxers, once you start getting into like legitimately tearing down somebody's legacy or truly being the crab in the barrel about like certain people, like you could hate Floyd, right? Because Floyd, he wasn't the guy that you want to model yourself outside of the ring after, except for when it comes down to training and things like that. Yeah, he was a good father and all this other stuff, but like being the voice of reasoning in politics, that's not the guy you want to model yourself in. But when you get into those conversations that contribute to tearing that down, you got to think, look at the bigger picture. I started off the show by talking about how you'll never hear, you know, somebody saying, oh man, fuck Bruce Lee, it's all about Jet Li. Fuck Jet Li, it's all about Jackie Chan. We're the only ones that really do that. So sometimes, man, like I would recommend that we let karma be karma. And this gonna do its thing. But with all this good boxing talk and everything we got going on, man, focus on what brings us here, which is the boxing. All this great ass boxing we gonna get tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be Boots coming out party. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have a legitimate star on our hands and he can actually seal the deal, take his rite of passage, take that next step in this big fight, and boom, we got another iron in the fire as far as somebody that we can be like, yeah, we got one. We got us one. We really got us one. He just proved it. He showed it. Focus on that and all the fights that we got going on, man. Not all of the messy stuff, man. I know that shit be looking and sounding juicy. But don't bite that apple. Because everything that's lawful ain't expedient. I always say fruits and veggies, not that Reggie, that fact-based content, not opinion-based, even though we have ours. You know, hopefully you was able to put something in your rucksack and march on with it and take it on to your next boxing conversation. We always say, listen, go where everybody know your name and they always glad you came and they always sing your praise. And then come over here and hear what we got to say. You won't be disappointed. Fruits and veggies, not that Reggie, fact-based content. You know, silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So sometimes, man, we gotta say something. Boxing is 80-20. 80% is good because we still got a sport. So that means that people, as long as people still fighting, it's good. We just harp on the 20%. Let's do the opposite. Let's harp on the 80% that's good, right? And then let 20% of it be us focusing on the bad. You know what I'm saying? Because boxing, man, the way it's going is already looking more and more like wrestling. You know, are you the person that's pissing in the community lake? Or you pouring fresh water back in it or trying to figure out how to put a filter in this shit? That's what we do over here at Bodywork. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for all my new subscribers and everybody that come through and show love and support, man. We really appreciate you. The 300 appreciate you. We're growing, man, and we're not going to stop, man. We're no longer like worried about getting the credit for whatever. We just care that the message is getting out there because we're never going to get the credit. Boxing credit amongst people that look like us and sound like us, that shit ain't worth a damn. We don't care about the credit. We care about the message. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really all about. And y'all know that I could talk this boxing shit all day and all night. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold you no longer, man. I hope everybody makes it through till tomorrow. Fingers crossed to the boxing gods that everybody gets in the ring. And everybody that gets in the ring, go home and feed their family and see their families and enjoy, you know, the spoils of their labor. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. Well, we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.